Well, a very good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another Flight Deck Sim live stream. Today it's the 27th of December 2023, 3 minutes past 4 in the afternoon here in the United Kingdom. We're back in Microsoft Flight Simulator and we're in a pre-release version aircraft, the anticipated iniBuilds Airbus A300. Now, I've flown their X-Plane version many times before, many years ago. In fact, you can see the playlist in the video description below, and they've finally updated it to Microsoft Flight Simulator. It's been Christmas all around, so I haven't had any time really to have much of a play, but I downloaded it last night and had a bit of a play, a bit of a test sector. I'm happy how it runs, and I've got up to speed from A to B on this flight. We're in Saudi Arabia, the capital Riyadh, and we're flying to Dubai. It's the most frequently common flight between Dubai and any other airport. I think there's several flights a day between these two massive hubs. So around an hour and 15 minutes, as I said, in the Airbus A300. Release date, I don't think it's been confirmed yet, so it's certainly not public. I don't know about it, so I won't say anything. But the price has been confirmed at $34.99, which I think is very reasonable for the aircraft you'll get. We'll have a look at it in a lot more detail in a second. But anyway, here we are in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. This is some free scenery by Abdul Latif. That's how you say it. It's in the video description. It's completely free to download. It's worth checking out. We'll be checking out the new Dubai scenery as well by iniBuilds when we get there. As I said, flight time 1 hour and 15 minutes. Let's see who we have here in chat today as I slowly zoom on in towards the aircraft. Firstly, I hope you all had a great Christmas. I haven't even asked that yet. I had a fantastic time myself. I was off work. We did it at home. We hosted Christmas first ever time. Turkey crown went well. Didn't burn it. My girlfriend's mum helped me cook it as well. And all the roast as well. We had a beautifully lazy day yesterday. Lots of wine, lots of merriment, and lots of chocolate. I feel much heavier than I did a few days ago. But back to business here on the channel, and then I'm back to work on Friday. Only one more block, and then I have 2 weeks off, and I hope to do loads of... Oh my days! Lots of streets moving forward. Looks like GSX is having a nightmare, or it's frozen in space and time. One of the baggage carts. So ignore that one. Might have to reload GSX. That didn't happen at the start of the stream, but there we are. There's the exterior model, looking really nice indeed. Let's see what we got here in chat today. Chase B says, "Oh dear." Yes, it would seem GSX has had a bit of a mare. 0321 Sean is here. Hey, Alex Van der Passy say, "Hope you're doing well, buddy." Darius, what is the intro song's name? This intro song is called "Say Goodbye" by Ron Gillinas, but maybe you meant during the intro with the countdown for the stream time. That was made by many members of the channel some moons ago, and it's exclusive to Flight Deck Sim. Quark says, does the A300 follow altitude restrictions on the climb out, or is that manually managed? I believe it does level off with restrictions in the FMC. We'll test that today as well. As I mentioned, this is a pre-release version, still in beta. There could be some bugs and issues, might not be representative of the final product, but I've not had many issues. I am having one issue which has been reported, which is the SciTech radio tuning panel I have. It doesn't seem to work. They did say they fixed it with the latest update beta, but I'm still not getting it to work my side as well. But otherwise, it flies in a very similar manner to the one in X-Plane, which is quite good. Just the usual Microsoft Flight Simulator isms, I should say. Simon C's in chat as well. We just had a new member join during the startup as well. That was Busted Minimums 21. Love that username. Hope you're doing well. Thank you very much for tuning into a Flight Deck Sim live stream and becoming a member. Thank you very much for the support indeed. Anyway, who else we got here? Tamango, Tulip, Invisibles here as well. Elliot Smith, Christian Ostland, and Darius Nascuas, to name a few. But thank you very much for popping in here. Just the usual baggage shenanigans. Yeah, let me reload GSX. We're going to take a full load of passengers. I had to go for the original OG Airbus A300 livery. I've always done that with first aircraft where I can, is to take their initial livery. Yes, GSX is having a mare. So yeah, the exterior model, like all aircraft in Microsoft Flight Simulator, is phenomenal. You know, there's so much detail. You can see Jim and I already sat down tight in the flight deck as well. Taylor L, thanks for the 9 months. Glad to hear that your Christmas was good. I got the stomach flu during Christmas. Oh man, that sucks. Well, I'm really sorry to hear that. I hope you're on the mend now, buddy, but thank you very much for popping in for this live stream, and take it steady, eat lots of chicken and rice and you'll be fine. There we are. Look, we've got lots of maintenance features with this aircraft as well. You've got to think about things like tyre wear, brake wear, engine wear, nice little maintenance features. But you can see there we've got the, I think that's the IDG oil that would be on the 7.3 around there, but the cowlings are open just to show you the detail. That would be an EEC by the looks of it. Very, very nice. General Electric, these engines, the sounds on this are really nice too. Well, is that General Electric? I can never remember the badge. There's the leading edge of the wing. The exterior model is phenomenal. We're live weather. We're 12 hours behind live time because it would have been a night flight. And I thought, you know what? It's a fantastic scenic route today. Right over Doha, into the United Arab Emirates. I want to enjoy the views. And I've got all the iniBuilds Dubai scenery installed. There's Jim's brother, Jack. No, Jack's my dog. Let's call him... Christian. He's checking the APU, but you can see the APU is open, and he's very happy with everything there, with his mag light on. Excellent other brands of torch are available. Yeah, I love the oil streaks coming from the PCUs. Really nice. Very nice. You can see they've got tyre wear as well. So I've got new tyres. You can see there's plenty of tread there. But over multiple landings, the tyres will wear down. I think, you can see through the runway there. You can see through the brake fans, and there's the exterior model complete. So we'll call that our virtual walk around, and we'll now jump into the cockpit. In fact, what I'll do, I'll activate GSX. You'll notice, if you're familiar with my streams, I don't have Fly Live on at the moment. It's causing issues with FSUI PC, so until I find an update to get that working, I will have no overlay information, so I'll keep you posted if you want to know ETAs and whatnot as well along our route. I've messaged V1 Simulations about a couple of hours ago. I just sent him an email because I know he uses it to see if he's got a fix going. Anyway, let's use GSX to request boarding. Should we have Saudi Arabian Airlines or Casper? I'll let you guys choose in chat. No, CF6 engine, said Tamango. Yes, they are the ones. That's the yeah, I always forget the General Electric logo, Domino Mosin. Hope you're doing well, Mo, and hope you had a good Christmas, buddy. Nice to see you here in chat as well. Camel Go says, when is it released? I want it. I think it's going to be released soon. Oh, I think it's automatically chosen what to use for GSX, so we'll let it do its thing. But yeah, GSX is awesome. I'm actually really enjoying it. Looks like it hasn't gone for Saudi, as someone just requested. It's gone for Sal or something. But yeah, we get all the baggage carts coming. I think they're sort of on top of each other. You get all the pallet loading as well with the A310, which is really, really cool. But yeah, we'll start it boarding. I'll just double check. I think it's request boarding. Yeah, boarding requested. So it'll ask me to ask the crew. We've got a full load of passengers. As I said, it's 235 passengers. So I'll let it do its thing in the background there. Oh, yes. I am falling in love with GSX. Now I know it's not causing any issues. Although it does open the L2 door here. Or is that the L2? I guess so. Anyway, let's jump into the cockpits. We'll let GSX do its thing in the background. I'll turn the music down here. Yes, let's board the crew. I got the... waiting for your action, open L1 door. Now, it opened automatically on the test sector. Why are you asking me to open it now? Now, very important, when you open doors, make sure you disarm the doors, otherwise the slide will deploy. So, I think it's automatically opened the door for me now. There we are. So, crew are on the way. And the passengers are coming next. L2 is the exit for the unruly passengers, said Romeo. It's brilliant. Hope you're doing well, buddy. Don't forget to add gear down in your landing checklist, Captain. Thanks to Mango. Brilliant. Referencing my recent Concorde stream, no doubt. Now, that's an EFB. Yes, it's a very nice EFB. It does look well modelled, and I've been using it on the test sector as well. Anyway, let's get the show on the road. My flight, so I'm going to import from SimBrief, full SimBrief integration. So departure time is at 16:45 Zulu, so we've got about 35 minutes, and we should be landing at 18:05 Zulu. So I've got all the flight information. The weather is fantastic here in Riyadh, the capital of Saudi. Cav OK 23 degrees, in Dubai Cav OK 26 degrees. It's pretty much clear skies the entire sector. There's the flight plan information, flight level 350 for our sector. So that's done. Weight and balance, again, you can update from SimBrief. Now, a little bit of a gotcha at the moment. I like to add fuel manually. At the moment, when you sync with SimBrief, it'll go with your block fuel. So if you want to add additional fuel, you'll need to add it in SimBrief and not the aircraft, because it only takes the SimBrief block fuel. So you'll see here on SimBrief, I've added an additional 30 minutes. 30 minutes of fuel, which is 2.5 tons. This aircraft burns about 5 tons an hour. So I've got an extra 30 minutes of fuel to play with along this sector. So you can update from SimBrief, press apply load, and there you go. It adds it there. You can do the fuel in real time. I just press finish now, and there you go. You can see we've got 14.3 tons of fuel already on board. That is minimum block fuel for this sector, but I have taken into account this flight plan block fuel has an additional 30 minutes of fuel, 2.5 tons. Hi iniBuilds, hope you're doing well. They're going to be popping into chat, and I think they've been popping into chat with loads of streamers as well. You should be able to click the fuel field in the top section and modify it there. I do that, so let's say if I put 14.8, so clear that. 14.8, and enter. Now, has that uplifted it? I'll get some power onto the aircraft first. Let me get some power. And GPU on the bus.
Passengers boarding starting.
Let me clear the messages here. It might have done it, because it didn't do it yesterday, but I do have an updated version, so whether you fixed it, I do not know. So, how do I clear all the fault messages? Clear. 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 Here you go, 14.3, 14.8. If I press enter, how do I enter it? Top section. Got you. Ah, okay, so I was using this.
Welcome.
Apply load to aircraft. Thanks. So I was doing it wrong the whole time. There we are. Ah! Oh yeah, I think it's restarted the refueling. Finish now. There you go. That's how you refuel it then. Thank you. So I was trying to use this bottom one to modify it, but I guess that's just SimBrief info. But I've got it in there. Well, I want just SimBrief now. So I'll press update from SimBrief and then apply load. And then quick refuel. Got you, thank you. So I think I was modifying this, which is the SimBrief one. Got you, all understood, thank you. Anyway, whilst any builds are here, feel free to ask any questions about the aircraft. They'll go into a lot more detail than I can. I've got the iniBuilds manual running in the background to hopefully get everything started as well. The GSX passengers are, I think, coming in from the bridge. I think that's just GSX. There you go, look, you can see the passengers coming on in. There we are. Look like your usual Saudi Arabian style passengers, but a bit of a step up for them, but they're making it into the cockpit nice and easily. Perfect, so that is done. As I said, I've got the iniBuilds manual running here in the background. Why is that not showing for you guys? There we are. So this is included with the product. It has like an abbreviated checklist. The old one went into a bit more detail, so I should think on release you'll have the expanded checklist, but it certainly gives you all the steps you need to do in order. You've got detailed information about the EFB tablet as well, a quick view showing you where you can find all the information, stats and facts about the aircraft too. iniBuilds have always made quite comprehensive manuals with their products there. Ken, what's 14.26, 14.8? 14.26 is the minimum block fuel. 14.8 is what I requested, or just to show you how you can put as much fuel in as you want there. Cool, so let's go through the checklist now. Batteries are on auto, hydraulic panel will check. We're all in the green here for blue, green and yellow. Wiper switches are off, gear lever is down, and we have 3 green lights here. Yeah, I mean, it goes without saying the cockpit detail is really crisp and nice. What I really like as well, look, it's got, I don't think the X-Plane version had this. It shows you your target thrust setting. Look, it's a little mechanical lever or gauge to show you where the target thrust setting is. That's really, really cool. I like that there. So I didn't have that in the older versions. Weather radar's off, fuel levers are off, external power's connected. We'll check the fire systems now. So let's test the fire number 1. Hold it down. There we are. So engine fire light gives you the checklist on the eCam to display. We have the sound of the bell and the second loop being tested in the background too. When your captain pulled out the user manual, tobacco, I have to constantly reference user manuals. So we'll do the APU fire test as well. We don't start the APU straight away at the moment because it's not too hot or cold here. There we are. APU fire test completed. Let's just test engine number 2. We'll just wait until the light extinguishes. Dennis, any simulations? Hey, for your side-tech panel, are the interactions not working on? Is the panel not getting any power? Dennis, it's definitely not getting anything from iniBuilds because I tried it with the PMDG in another aircraft and it powered up. With the iniBuilds, it's just not turning on. I've pressed page down and page up, which is the avionics command. And it was the same with the A310 when it was released. It's just not powering up. It's completely, I'll turn on yoke cam, completely dead as a dodo, I'm afraid. And when I powered up Microsoft Flight Simulator, it powered on just fine. So I don't know what it is. I saw that there was a fix for this version of iniBuilds, but it's just not working my side. So maybe there's something up with it. Maybe there's something I've done. I don't know, but it was working with other aircraft there. Perfect. What did I get to? Oh yes, the last engine fire test. So loop, it's very similar in a way to the 7.3 fire test. It checks all loops, loop B, the fire light, the bell, and then you get the drill as well. pop up on the ECAM. Or we don't have the ECAM on the 737, obviously. We're not spoiled on such an archaic old aircraft. Zach, the same issue after having no issues for the first several years. It's been like 6 months now with the Xbox version. Yes, well, Xbox version I'm not familiar with. Right, so we've done the fire tests. APU we won't just start yet. IRS mode selectors will move to nav. They're up here. I've got the alignment set to fast, so I think it only takes 2 or 3 minutes. ISDU will set oxygen low pressure switch to on, which is over here somewhere. Well, what I'll do a panel scan just to configure everything up here, which is what I usually do. So ground control for flight recorder. These should all show faults and low pressure because we have no hydraulic power at the moment. No smoking sign on. Seatbelt sign on. That's all configured. We need to wait for IRS alignment to complete before we can switch these on. Nav and logo to 2. We'll turn on all the fuel pumps regardless of their contents. Leave the APU off for now. That's all done. Leave the cockpit door unlocked. There's the cargo fire system. Probes on, window heater on, and then we'll work our way on the right hand side there. Darius, thank you very much for your generous donation, sir. Let's see what he has to say.
How is MSFS recently?
Yeah, it's okay.
Has it improved? Also, don't forget the gear this time, Cap. Airplane.
Oh dear, brilliant. Yeah, airplane. Yeah, a little banter here because I forgot to lower the gear on the Concorde stream. No, I didn't forget. I was just doing a low pass and go around. Brilliant. Thank you. Yeah, Microsoft Flight Simulator is doing just fine. I had a lot of stability issues with the sim last month, and that was actually something my side. It was to do with the Fly Live overlay and FSUI PC. I removed it, and I've had no crashes since. So I hopefully have fixed it. And for me, I think it's a great simulator if you enjoy the fantastic views and scenery, really detailed aircraft as well. Handling aspects, takeoff and landings are always... they're okay, you know. I don't think they're ever going to be simulated well. I think the best one you got is really the GA Comanche. Yeah, it's functionable, and if you enjoy, you know, the scenery, which I do, I enjoy the textures and looks, and team devs like iniBuilds go to a lot of work and detail to make the aircraft, you know, simulated just like the real thing. So there's some great airplanes coming up as well next year. I think long haul wise they're making an A350 iniBuilds are. We've got what else is coming out? There's also 777 from PMDG. That will be very good. Yeah, it'll be a fantastic aircraft to enjoy. Thanks for your donation, sir. Right, we've had to put the ship galley on so they can turn on the ovens, and the air conditioning panels all good here. Econ flow can turn off because we've actually got a lot of passengers, and that's all good. We'll arm the emergency exit lights. So the overhead panels pretty much all tuned up. Let's now... I'm going to jump straight into the FMC actually, just to get everything loaded up there as well. So obviously you've got full SimBrief integration. So you go to menu, ACARS, request SimBrief, pending. There you go, straight from SimBrief instantly. Cost index 10. Which I'm using today. Flight level 350. We'll go Alpaca. I don't know what Airbus's normal call sign is, but we'll go Alpaca 300. I think you can work out where that came from. Alternates Abu Dhabi. We'll press Align IRS so the alignment's complete. It'll show our position. It's updated the tropopause and cruise winds for us. So there you go. The routing's in. You just need to select your SID and star. Now there's no ATC here or events in Saudi Arabia, so we'll select our V speeds, which we can get from the performance tablet. So we'll press that here, weight and balance. The fuel and payload's already uplifted into the aircraft. I know GSX is simulated loading, but we can just go off the final figures. So performance, I don't know if there's a landing performance at the moment. A landing performance calculator, certainly one for takeoff, but I couldn't find one for departure, for landing. So we'll sync, it will be 1.5 left for departure. There's all the airport information. It is dry, the wind's there's, that is the temperature. QNH is 1023. We use flap 15 for the slats and 15 for the trailing edge flaps. Air conditioning on, anti-ice off. We won't force toga for today, and there we are. We've got a huge long runway. I don't know if any information's meant to come up here. It is blank, but we've got our performance all in. V speeds 154, 163, 163. Such high V speeds in this aircraft. We are quite heavy, as I said, full load of passengers. So 154, 163. And V2 we need to set up on the FCU. We'll just need to wait until the alignment's complete, because because we can't turn some of these switches on until the alignment's done, so that should be any second. So we just have to remember to set V2 163 knots once the alignment is complete. Thanks for subscribing there, Angel Fernandez. Hope you're doing well. Thank you very much for joining the channel. Tillman Richter, I kind of hope one can hide the FB, as I would like to fly this old school bird, old school like. Maybe there's an option, I don't know, but you don't need to fly with the EFB. You know, it doesn't make any difference. You can still fly it old school there. I saw a very interesting post on the VATSIM Facebook page where people were talking about pitch and power settings for aircraft, and someone was saying here's a really useful table for pitch and power settings for the 737, and it was the same table from the real aircraft about airspeed unreliable, and some people in chat were going off on one about no, pitch and power, you know, you need to fly the plane by just looking outside and using thrust levers. You can't fly an aircraft like a 737, you need to use attitude and thrust settings, or reference attitude and thrust settings to fly the aircraft accurately. They're talking about 350X and BTV's brake to vacate, very posh feature as well. Iris in how do you find the time for alignment? Again, is it the same as 0? Have I got to do my final position or something? It's not aligned yet because I still have the attitude flag and the heading in red. Usually the routing comes in. Well, we'll come back to the takeoff page. Let's do the departure and arrival. So we'll select Saudi Arabia, SID. It'll be runway 15 left.
Welcome.
The SID is going to be a Cobox 1 Golf. Cobox 1 Golf. There we are. We'll insert that. GPS prime. There we are. The alignment's complete. There we are. Boarding's complete. Waiting for your action to close the L4 door. There we are. You can see. Oh, we just remember to close the cowlings. Stop the work on the engineer. So we'll close the door later. Let's just go back to the performance. I'm going to and fro here because I'll forget to do it otherwise. So the V2 was 163, so now the alignment's complete. You can turn all these switches on. Powers up the MCP, and we'll bug 164, and then what you do, you push this so you get preset of 163. That will be out. Okay, 164. That's fine. We'll use that speed, and you can see nav accuracy upgraded. We can now go back into finishing the routing. So plan. We'll step through it anyway when we go through the SID, but there's no discontinuities all the way to our arrival into Dubai. We'll select Dubai. Star, it'll be, we're planning on 30 right, and it will be the Lorid 4 Delta. There's 2 arrivals, one that goes to the east and one goes to the west. I think Lorid 4 Delta's to the west. We'll just select that one. All dot transition. Insert. Lots of RNAV waypoints now. Unfortunately, you can't click out the ND. There we are. There's the RNAV arrival. Straight in.
Well,
no discontinuities. Great. So the route's in. Yeah, it's an MCP. MCP. Init page. Yeah. And I remember I pressed Align RS right at the start, so I was just taking some time for the alignments to be completed. Right. So routing's in. Performance is done. V2 set. Let's work our way down here onto the MCP. So decision height, you set it to -5. I remember iniBuilds some time ago were telling me with the X-Plane version it's to do with the EGPWS to prevent any spurious call-outs or something. So we'll select -5. Flight directors are on. We'll select constraints on the ND here. Now performance, the only other thing was the flex temperature, 63 degrees, slightly assumed temperature. So we'll select flex 63 degrees, otherwise we will be out of here. Now you'll see when I turn up the temperature, look at the target N1 drop.
Approaching minimum.
So we're telling the engines, look, this is the outside air temperature, it's 63 degrees, give me full rated thrust based off that temperature. Okay, that's 96.7, and the little yellow bug moves there. iniBuilds, if you pre-sell, it'll revert to level change and target the pre-sell speed. That's already caught a few people out. Wink. Uh-oh! Alright, well, you know iniBuilds, I fly this like a 737, so I know if it starts doing weird stuff, I know how level change works just like it does in the NG, and VS, vertical speed, you pull this. This is why I love this Airbus, because it's so like Boeing. It's got firstly, it's got one of these things, which is really useful, a yoke, and the MCP works nowhere near like the one on the A320. So yeah, it's great for me to fly an aeroplane like this. TB, how do you calculate flex temperature? Well, it comes thankfully from an onboard performance tool, and all takeoffs we try to reduce thrust as much as possible, primarily to reduce engine wear. Engines last a lot longer
50,
so long as you
40,
use lower thrust
30,
settings. It actually uses
20,
a little bit more fuel,
10.
bizarrely, than a higher thrust setting, because it takes longer to get to your cruise altitude. Thanks, Tom Hates Cats.
Good evening.
Hello.
Here's 100 baht as a
Thank
late
you.
Christmas present. Definitely didn't get a massive hangover on Boxing Day, haha.
Brilliant, Tom Hates Cats. Thank you very much for your donation. Very generous of you, sir, for 100 baht. I hope you're doing very well. Is it Bangkok you're from? I can't remember exactly where in Thailand, but I hope you didn't get too drunk, and it looks like you enjoyed yourself there. So thank you very much for your donation, sir. Very generous of you. Okay. It's basically a 767. Yes. Oh, did V1 Simulations have a bit of a interesting departure? Yes. I had a quick flick over on his stream yesterday, but I would love to have streamed it yesterday, but it was Boxing Day and I was with my friends and family, and they are always come first, and then my channel a very close second. So yes, that's why I'm previewing it today. Yes, excellent. No tree table hearsay. Says 0321 short. Brilliant. Romulus, worried passengers still peering at the internals of the engine on display. Yeah, we best close those, hadn't we? And we'll get the APU started. Yeah, throttle calibrate. Lots of cool features here. So I've calibrated my throttles for the thrust master. They're all working well. Let's go here to aircraft maintenance. So this is awesome. I did a test sector. The engine oil is still 100%. I've not reset anything here. We'll make sure you arm the slides, because if you don't and open the door, guess what happens? You get a slide deploy. I might demonstrate that once I get to Dubai. And yeah, everything's working well. Let's have a little quick look externally. Everything looks closed. The air bridge is still attached. We'll get the APU started now as well. So APU master switch on, and we'll move that to start. Cabin doors are still closed. We'll close those in a short while. We'll select APU on the eCam display. You can see it power up. We'll go outside as well so you can hear the sounds. Boot up. Lo-Fi Lab, which flight simulator is realistic when it comes to flying control aspect? I prefer X-Plane for me personally. I think Microsoft Flight Simulator is getting better, but I feel, for example, the 737 flies in many similar aspects to other aircraft in the sim, but it's still good. It's good, you know. Pitch and power settings work quite nicely. Taking off in this, it felt like every other aircraft in Microsoft Flight Simulator, but on landing it felt quite dynamic, and the pitch and power was quite easy to judge. Oh look, talk of the devil! I was just talking about you, V1 Simulations. Thank you very much for your donation. I sent you an email because I need your help with FlyLive. My FlyLive doesn't work properly, and I popped into your stream yesterday. Although I didn't announce my appearance, but yes, yours is working. I need to get mine working. But thank you very much for your donations, sir. I hope your wife and I think you've got the one child are doing very well. Had a great Christmas, and I'll let the thing read out as soon as it pops up there. Well, he did. What do you see? Had an interesting departure with regards to pre-select, but I sure as heck didn't forget to learn landing gear. Ah, right. I am going to send you another email with much profanity. What are you on about? Look, Concorde is hard. You've flown the Colomata Concorde, and it's very much broken in X-Plane 12. You need to fly it with your capacity on high and try a low pass and go around. But he's come here, shots fired. Thank you very much, sir. Anyway, I hope you're doing well. Excellent. And if you don't know V1 Simulations, please check him out. He does what I do, but flies the other aeroplane. That's all I'm going to say. Also a captain based in the United States of America, full of banter histories like mine. Excellent. Right, let's carry on with the setup. There you go. The APU's all started. We've got some lovely APU jet blasts as well. We'll see Saudi Arabia cargo here as well. Yeah, this flight was quite nice because I looked on Flight Radar in Dubai and it said Riyadh was the most popular flight.
20.
I think it was like hundreds of flights a week, so I thought we best replicate that. Thank you again, as I said, V1 Simulations. Very kind of you.
I may have had an interesting departure with regards to pre-select, but I sure as heck didn't forget to lower the landing gear. Real pilot, winking face. Hope you have a happy new year.
Yeah, brilliant.
Cheers.
Well done. Yeah, well done. Well done, V1. Brilliant. Thank you very much, buddy. Had a great new year, and thank you very much for your token gesture there, sir. Very kind. Right. Right, MCP altitude. Right, let's get the show on the road here. I'm running behind. So APU's running. So I press external power. There we are, and it's already gone over to the APU. So let's go back to ground equipment. Remove the GPU. we'll close the doors, and we'll make sure we arm them prior to taxi, at least, because I don't want to arm them and then GSX starts moving doors and then I blow a slide. Let's reset the standby ISFD. Nice to see you here, Tim Waters. Hope you had a great Christmas, buddy. He does what you do expect the landing be a bit brilliant. MCP altitude. Let's have a little look at the SID here. So let me fire up Navigraph. You've obviously got Navigraph integration in the EFB, but I quite like using the overlay during streaming, so I can show it to you nice and clearly. So we're on stand, or gate 25. We're going to taxi out to runway 15 left, and the SID we're going to be flying is this one. It's the Box 1 Golf, so it's climb on runway heading and then 132, so initial heading's 147. So let's set that, excuse me, on the MCP.
50,
oh,
40,
Q8 pilots here
30,
as well, loads
20,
of big name streamers. Thank you very much, Q8 pilot, and ever so generously, and 50 quid he sent me, thank you.
Merry Christmas, Captain. Always a pleasure watching you fly an Airbus right
you.
after watching V1 equals.
Thank you very much. Very kind of you, Q8 Pilot. Please, ladies and gentlemen, go check out my Deployed C Q8 Pilot's channel. It's a fantastic source of information regarding tweaks and things for your respective flight simulators. So thank you very much for your very kind gesture. I hope you had a nice time during Christmas, if you celebrated Christmas, that is, and I hope you're very safe over in Q8. We'll be flying near you today as well. So thank you very much for your gesture. Yes, I think you might be joking. If you want to learn how to fly an Airbus A320 properly, go check out V1 Simulations. He's your man. Excellent. So climb on runway heading. SID stop altitude. So the initial stop altitude's at CODA 11,000. So we'll set 11,000 on the MCP, and that's all set. So it's all RNAVs. We'll check the FMC. Look, you can see they've got all the constraints there. 2,700, 4,000, max speed 230 knots, 7,800, stop at 11,000. We'll select that. You can see at or below flight level, well, 11,000 feet here, because it is quite a high transition altitude. Tamlou's next, 13,000, and then we go to Catav and then Cobox. They're at or below flight level 190. It's all coded and all checks there. Thanks, Domino Mosina, for sharing Q8 Pilots and V1 Simulation channels. Go check them out, guys. Give them a subscribe, because they are all good guys making great content. Right then, so let me get rid of Navigraph. FMC's all loaded, or MCCDU. Perf. We'll select for us, or takeoff approach. We've got all the V speeds there. Acceleration speeds are based off 1,500 feet above aerodrome elevation, 122.8. So just want to check. Yeah, I've got my Unicom and control column button working. We'll squawk 2,000 out off as we're about to push back, and the weather radar will preset to +5 for the tilts, and it's off. Excellent. I'll just quickly rattle through the checklist to make sure I've not forgotten anything silly. I think we're all good. Those switches are on. We've done our tests. EFIS control panel is set. Decision height -5. Altimeter is set. So the elevation here is 2,000. QNH 1022. And we have the FMS routing in. Performance is done. We're ready for engine start. So let me get GSX up and running. So we'll request or prepare for push and back and departure. Hope the mic and audio is all good, guys. So that should, there's the dispatcher walking across. Doors are all closed. And it's all working. GSX profile for this included with this scenery, and the one for the iniBuilds Dubai too. Excellent. Yeah, APU believes the next step in the checklist, Mick.
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback.
Still love all this. It's just so good. There we are. Right, let's jump into the cockpit. So, request pushback, that's confirmed. So we can pop the APU bleed on now. I forgot to do a full test of the annunciator system. Yes. Hopefully it won't get stuck. And we've got the classic stop rudder inputs as well. So we'll get the beacon on. That tells the ground crew that the aircraft's about to move backwards or start its engines. And we will move the ignition to crank A. You can hear the air conditioning packs turn off automatically. That's very Airbusy. And we're ready to start the engines. Stop rudder inputs. Yes, here it is. There you go, for your entertainment. That was installed after the A300 that crashed quite soon after 9/11 because they had wind shear, and I think don't know who it was, FO or captain, started pumping the rudder, blew the horizontal stabilizer off, I think. Well, no, the vertical stabilizer off, and it crashed. And a lot of people linked it to another 911. So every aircraft has a rate of climb up here on the IVSI with GSX and Microsoft Flight Simulator, and we want nose to the left. No, I want the nose going right. Sorry.
Release parking brake.
It'll probably be wrong. Right. Oh, that was very strict. Right, parking brake released.
Commencing push.
Thanks everyone tuning
All
in.
engines clear. Start at will.
Anyway, I hope you're having a great break during the Christmas period, and if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to smash the thumbs up button. Check out the iniBuilds Discord. You can find some information about the aircraft as well. Release date, I don't know. Pricing has been confirmed, $34.99. Very reasonable for these sort of high quality add-ons. I think that's the way devs are going with pricing now as well. I think their original X-Plane one was much more, but I think their X-Plane aircraft is on a massive sale at the moment, so it's worth checking out if you have X-Plane. Right then, so I've got the sounds cranked up. Oh, so red. Oh, they've armed automatically. Great. So we're going to go over here. Just want to make sure I've got the audio turned up. So I've got all my details here. There we are. So engines, external engines, maximum. That's what we want to hear, because the sounds on this are epic. They've definitely improved on their older version. Right then. So let's start engine number 2. So open. We want N2 at 20%. We'll check all the usual parameters you want to monitor during an engine start. So you have N2, oil pressure, N1, 20% N2, fuel on. Excellent sounds. Pratt & Whitney's CPDLC radio stack will become included all the original purchase price. Very cool, iniBuilds. I saw the link for Hoppy as well in the tablet. This is another thing that Microsoft Flight Sim gives you. It's great on VATSIM. Look at the wing flex there as well when the movement's taxiing. That's stuff we like. Ooh, loud.
Unlocking gear.
think she's ready for the end of her shift. Locking gear. N2. Oil pressure. N1. Sounds like a Thunderbirds machine. Oh, that went very loud all of a sudden. Cool. Cool, guys, I think I might have to turn down Microsoft Flight Simulator. It just boosted, doubled the volume here.
Tow truck disconnected. Bypass pin removed. Left is clear. Right is clear.
Thank you. That's the generator going on the bus. That's a beast of a tug as well that pushed us back. Is she going to show us the pin? God, you're very high up here. Excellent, there's the pin. Very realistic. But usually they walk to the side, not in front of the aircraft. She sounds about as thrilled as when I'm at work. Brilliant. Yeah, guys, I hope the volume's okay and that's not too loud. I think something weird happened with Windows and the sound there. Right, before taxi checklist then, so after start flow they call it. So we don't need the APU for departure, so we can move the ignition to off, APU bleed off, and shut off the master switch for the APU. Speed brake we can arm. Flaps and slats to 15. That's that position. Ooh, it's nice and quiet back here. They're extending. Trim set for takeoff. Better just check the performance tab. So I think it was 0.0 down. Okay. I think that's just coincidence. There we are. I'll leave it on 0 anyway. So that's set for takeoff. After start checklist complete. Next is taxi out. So word of warning, I won't show you today, but the reverse thrust is a little broken in this beta version because I tried it earlier. It sends the aircraft backwards quicker than it does going forwards with full power. It's quite amusing. But we'll have a look at the landing in Dubai. We'll still use it, but they're a little bit too powerful at the moment. Right, so taxi clearance will obtain. Taxi nose to taxi, and we'll turn on the turn-off lights as well. They're already on. Where's it? Turn off. On? Or is that off? Don't know. Maybe I turned them on already accidentally. Right, taxi then, guys. Let's have a look at Navigraph. So we'll just ditch the SID chart for a second here. So we're going to taxi straight ahead. We'll take the first right on Foxtrot, second left at Golf, and we'll take full length for runway 17 left. So let's release the parking brake. Aircraft like this, it should... Yeah, you see how it starts moving forward on its own? That's just like in the 737 MAX. Will we be landing using the mouse today, said Ben. Brilliant, well remembered. Yes, I remember that iniBuilds A300 stream in the X-Plane version. There was a bug with the sim or something, and it caused big problems, and we had to land the aircraft using a mouse. Oh yeah, I better be unicoming really, shouldn't I? Riyadh traffic, Alpaca 300 taxiing to runway 15 left for departure to the east. I think I've got 1228 tuned twice, so we're getting sort of I heard my own voice. Make sure it idle. There we are, over to 1215. Oh, I'll take the next letter, right? Because I missed the turn. We'll go right at Papa and then first left. So yeah, because we're quite light here at idle thrust, it's moving along quite nicely. Look, 20 knots already. Hello Lanzari, hope you're doing well. Another thing as well, it taxis okay. The PMDG 73, as you well know, I don't like taxiing, but this one I can actually turn quite steeply with my full rudder, which is quite nice. Yes, I'll do that with SimPilot. There is a checklist to complete prior to takeoff on the taxi out, which we'll do shortly. I'll just get onto the parallel taxiway, just start braking her to make the turn. Thanks, Darius. Brilliant. There we are. Great FPS I'm getting as well. 60. Taxis really nicely. I've got hardly any input, but if I really want to crank round, I can do. And then we'll take the next left. This taxiway is next left Golf. No signage though, unfortunately. I better just check it's Golf. There's no scenery mismatch. No, that's the whole point there. And then we'll do the before takeoff checklist. So you should be doing 10 knots maximum for turns at 90 degrees. A little bit fast, 13. Right then, so taxi out or before takeoff checklist. So flight controls, we'll check. We'll select flight controls. And we'll check the inputs here. Full forward, full nose, down, full up, full left, full right, and rudders. It is linked to my tiller because I don't have an individual tiller, but that is working okay. We've preset the speeds. Oh no, so FC preset 250 knots. Okay, you know what? I'll just follow the checklist and not set V2. So 250. 11,000 feet to stop altitude. Flight directors are on. This is a bit of a got you taxiing here. No, I can't take the second right. Flight directors are on. Auto brake to max, which is just here. Transponder set. We'll just make sure I definitely on speed brake. I did. We'll put the transponder to TARA because we're about to enter the active runway, which is here. TARA, so we get traffic information, and the weather radar needs to come on, and then we'll just do a takeoff config test. We'll just get to the whole point here. Paul says, kick the tyres, light the fires. Flight editing, brilliant. Wow, 600 people. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Welcome aboard. And we'll just wait here at the whole point. just want to bring it to a small crawl, just so I can get the weather radar on. So put it on system 1, turb, +5 tilt, and get into auto. Excellent, so line-up actions next. We'll just make sure the runway's clear to the left, or the approach is clear to the left, and clear right. And I'll advise that's in we're lining up. Alpaca 300 lining up, runway 15 left. So, we need to turn on forward-facing lights, strobes to on, and brake fans are off, beacon lights on, runway turn off, lights on, nav and logos on, ignition is required, that's off for us, and it's a normal departure. Next is the actual takeoff. So I'm just going to do my own sort of flow here. I'm on profile, nav, so MCP set, transponder, TARA, strobe lights are on, landing lights on, checks complete, and the SID is climbed straight ahead, and then there's immediate left turn heading 132, 2,700 feet above, max 230, so we'll maintain the clean speed, and then another left turn to EBCOM, and we'll go from there. Oh yeah, 230 is the constraint, thank you. I was just, Camel Go, I was just testing everyone, well done, you spotted it. I was just testing everyone, well done. 230 knots, very good, that is the initial speed restriction. Right, tokens in chat, ladies and gentlemen, I'll turn on the clock, run, let's go to Dubai. Ah, checklist is on, there we go. Fitting is 50%, so I'll set the little needles to 50. Enjoy the departure. A little bit more thrust. EGT looks good, nothing's rising up. N2 as well. Set takeoff thrust. Ooh, that's juicy. There we are. Takeoff thrust set. Looking for a 96.7. Oh, it's got a bit beyond that. 96.7, 97.6. That'll do. Should be exactly the same. Takeoff thrust indication still 80 knots. Release forward pressure. Just realised the music's still on. Let's turn that off.
Riyadh traffic, Saudi 5, Quebec, Kilo Bravo, lining up runway 27 left, Riyadh, behind departing traffic.
So V1, rotate. A little bit more back pressure from me needed. And we're airborne, there we go. Positive climb, gear up. Nope, that's not working. Neither is that. I think I need to be indiscreet. There we are, gear up. Oh crikey, it is an immediate left turn. There we go. Oh, and it makes these big locking bangs as well. So I'll just maintain 190 here. I'm in SRS, P climb is armed. So 3,500 was the thrust reduction altitude. Sounds like an engine surging. Or it does with the level D sim, those bangs. So I'm going to select the flaps up. And now it's going to command hopefully 230 knots. Yeah, it is. I can see the little bar. And we can select slats up. So overshot the turn slightly. We'll just follow the flight directives. And it looks like it's commanding 230. There's a little blue bar there, so we can monitor the flight directives. Very similar to a VNAV departure in the 737, but I'm not sure where the nav is taking me. Guys, that's the SID. Okay. There's a bit of an issue here. I don't know where nav's taking me. Look. Okay. That did not happen yesterday. I'm going to have to go heading. It's taking me on a right little jolly. So let's just go heading select. And I'll just give myself a heading direct to EBTOM. Yeah, I don't know what's happened there. That did not happen yesterday on the test sector. Nav was engaged and it was taking me well off the course. So what we'll do, we'll just go heading. I'll give myself a heading here. Let's give myself a heading roughly. Let's go in that direction. Still commanding 230 knots at least, so it has complied with the speed restriction. We'll just maintain 230, just get it in trim. There we are. There we are. Not quite there. So it is trimmed for 230 knots now. There you go, no inputs. Just a little bit there. Let's go Command A. So Command is engaged, Command 1, and for some reason it is drifted well off there. Look, I mean, where it was taking me nav, I don't know. So what we'll do, we'll route direct to optimum. Initialize 0 fuel weight CG. Oops, initialize weights. There's elements of the pre-flight I forgot to do. I know exactly what I forgot to do. I forgot to put the weights in. So direct to optimum.
Riyadh traffic,
Insert.
Kilo Bravo, departing 15 left,
There we are.
Kogo 1 Golf.
Yeah, so unfortunately I forgot to put the weights in. That's completely my fault. It's the init page 2. I think I've still... Yeah, I've just got to put the CG in manually. That's fine. So it's gone to climb, which is good. It's happened very quickly. Ooh. No, that's good. That's good. Is there a restriction? Yeah, so the aircraft is now correctly levelling off at Kodat. So Kodat 11,000. That's the first restriction. Okay, so that's in. And we'll leave it here. We're just going to quickly do the after takeoff checklist. So gear to off. Order brakes off. We've levelled off at 11,000 feet. We're still doing 230 knots. That's fine because we're past Ocpum. And let's just see, because I have forgot to load some information in the FMC, which is my fault. So the CG, I'll punch in now. I know it's the gross weight one for takeoff, but it won't be too far off that. So 30.8. And the rest of the information, because it's not in, it's giving me some quirky info. Oh no, that's good. 2.2 final, 3.2 extra, which is roughly what I took. It was 2.5 tons. So that's checked. What do I have to take off checklist items do I need to do? The flaps up, after takeoff checklist complete. Right, we're good. So I'll just do the next altitude. So Navigraph, yeah, so we're inbound to optimum, but Kodat's 11,000. This is where my Airbus knowledge goes a bit funky. So Kodat 11, and we've got to go a higher altitude. So I think on this one I set a higher altitude. Let's put the cruise level 3.5. Now if I select profile, will it climb? Or will it comply with the restriction? I think it's going straight for the climb, which is fine. But how do you delete each restriction? Is there a quick way of doing it? I'm not so sure. There we are, checks complete. Yeah, the ND has curved lines. That is an option in EFB to make it curved. I think the original one didn't have curved lines, so you can have the regular square ones, but they're curved at the moment. There we are, pre-cruise checks complete. Profile doesn't respect out constraints in the kind. Got you. So why did it, if it doesn't, iniBuilds, just a curious one, why did it level off at 11,000? Was that because I had it on the MCP only, so it does completely ignore it? And obviously, yeah, it will comply with anything set on the MCP. Yeah, there we go, on our way. So yeah, navigation-wise, I'm not sure why it went off there. It took off and we ended up going northeast this way, then I routed direct to optimum, so well, I'm hazard a guess that's a bug. I did the same departure yesterday on 1.5. Oh no, I took off on 1.5 right yesterday, and I took off on 1.5 right, but it's a very similar SID, and that worked. That worked okay. So yeah, I don't know if it was something my side I forgot to do, but it certainly didn't like that departure initially. There we are, on our way. Let's do the pre-cruise checks now, above 10,000 feet. So our temperature's set, we can now set standard, 1013. Oops, no, that's that one. Seems to be turning all accurately now. Landing lights and retracts we can turn off. Turn offs, there we are, air conditioning and pressurization. So diff pressures, 4 psi, slow rate of climb in the cabin, and the cabin altitude is around just over 1,000 feet, so that's all checked. Seatbelts will turn off, which is over here. It's gone really quiet now, I've not actually touched the volume, but if I go outside, it's probably deafening. Whoa, yeah! There we are, checks complete. It will respect the FCU MCP, thanks iniBuilds. MCP. Taxi light, yeah, that should be off as well, thanks. There we are, checks complete. I don't think you had autopilot on, you're a loose cannon. Oh, it was on Roy. It was on Roy. The autopilot is on. Command 1. Loose cannon, yes, for sure. In an aircraft like this, I cannot be trusted. My airblend, sorry. Yeah, if the audio's... Let's have a look here. It's gone very quiet in the cockpit, but I did crank up the sound very loudly here. Oh, there we go. So what I'll do now, yeah, master I've got full. External engines I'll turn down. Let's just turn up. Let's just. There we are. So that should be a bit. That's better. Sort of balanced it all off now. So yeah, it is quite quiet. I've got the Microsoft Flight Simulator volume set to 100% as well. But it has gotten quieter. Now we've got an airborne. Yeah, because I can hear the music. There we go, anyway, we're on our way. Climb performance seems to be a little less than the X-Plane variant as well, for the same gross weight. It's climbing around 2,000 feet per minute, but having said that, I am climbing quite fast, 310 knots indicated. Yeah, that was it, yeah, because that's what I leveled off. Oh, so yeah, remember guys, it's not like the 737 FMC, it's not like the A320 MCP. It will show the constraints there, but it won't respect them. You've got to make sure you set them on the MCP. And now we're en route. It was just that initial turn. I don't know what the condition was for this initial turn, because you can see it's an initial heading, but we went off to the northeast. And the flight director was commanding that left turn. I was just following the flight director. So the flight director should command a heading of 132. And then at or above 2,700, command a left turn to Egpom. So not sure what happened there, but now it's accurately flying. Tamley 13,000, and yeah, we'll go straight up past these restrictions. Imagine we got free climb. And look at this scenery here. This is where the desert starts, to the east of Riyadh. It is very desolate and red out there. Valkyrie profile doesn't respect our constraints in real life. I guess so, seeing it's not modelled in the iniBuilds. There's the right turn to Qatar. Ah, interesting. FS flight productions with no weight info set. The flight director will not give good guidance as it falls back to a basic mode. Yeah, could be. But I'd understand in the vertical profile FS flight productions, but not in the lateral profile. Your gross weight shouldn't affect anything on your lateral profile, aka what the nav's commanding, or LNAV, turns left or right. I'd fully understand with profile mode being affected, not inputting the weight information. Why I forgot that, I don't know. I've never forgotten to do that before. Seems to be quite happy now going along. All this is updated automatically. ETA information, let's have a look at fuel prediction. So 7.5 tons on board. Now I've got the CG info in. Yeah. Just make sure you input all that information pre-flight. Autumn Emily, excited to go to Toulouse in March for my birthday. Very cool. Camel Go, I love the A300 and X-Plane, and I can't wait for this version. Very good. Should be released, no doubt, in a not too distant future. Quark says, why doesn't the aircraft respect the altitude constraints in the climb? Was it a design choice or a technical limitation of the early FMC? Good question, I don't know. This FMC is nowhere near as sort of accurate as the FMS you get in real life. So, for example, in descent, profile will not work like VNAV in the 737. It's sort of... I remember... Yeah, see, it's sort of... Is it overshooting again? Look. Yeah, it is overshooting turns here, unless that was programmed as a flyover waypoint, but yeah, Tamlu, it struggled with that turn there. Sort of overshot, went to the north. Let's have a little see what happens when it sequences past Qatar. Just going to be passing slightly to the north of it. Yeah, profile mode in the iniBuilds A300. I remember an ex-Monarch captain emailed me after the early A300 streams, and he was commenting about the profile mode. They said he very, very rarely used it in Monarch, if ever. They just used level change or VS, and just used it as sort of the progress mode as guidance. Because it just wasn't great at monitoring the profile. Anyway, look, it has sequence to Cobox. Next waypoint. Check the pressurization again. 8 psi for the diff. Cabin altitude's 2,000 feet. And the cabin rate of climb's pretty steady. You could probably check this on here as well. Well, that would be under pressurization, probably. There we are. 35 feet per minute cabin. Cabin altitude is 2,455 feet. The position of the outflow valves as well. Has it got two outflow
50,
valves? I'm not sure.
40, 30, 20, 10.
It's a good question, was it, iniBuilds? Darius, thank you very much for your donation, sir.
Can you make a stream with the FFA 315 X-Plane?
I haven't flown that for a very long time. Well, no, I've never flown the Flight Factor A350. I've never flown an A350 on the stream. I don't know how good it is. I'm waiting for Flight Factor to release their 777 For X-Plane, their V2, I've not flown their version, the first version, which I think was initially designed for X-Plane 10. But yeah, we'll definitely take a look at it at some point. I've got a lot of other stuff I want to try out first between both streams, so, but I'll make a note of it and see what I can do. Thank you, Darius. FS Flight Productions, path drawing is coming from the weight of the LNAF radius, which is why the curve didn't draw on the ground, so it can't figure out inset points without the weight. Really? So your gross weight affects the radius of the turn. Yeah, but your only thing that's going to control your radius is your speed. Interesting. That I didn't know, FS Flight Productions. So, interesting. Your gross weight affects your lateral profile. Very good. Well, I'll make sure I input it next time. Quark, Monaco Airlines, that's a blast from the past. My first job out of school was in a factory making the in-flight meals for them. Very cool. Yeah, I suppose actually FS Flight Productions, I did the SID on the other runway, which has a similar departure. It did work yesterday, so it could well be an error on my side. Either way, it really was a massive deviation. Flight here, looking forward to the Flight Factor 777 PMDG 777 comparisons. I'm pretty confident that PMDG will win. Yes, the Flight Factor 777, well, I've been working on it for years and years and years, haven't they? I mean, I did a giveaway for the V2 version of the Flight Factor 777 over 2 years ago. I don't think it's been released yet. I don't know if we'll honour it still. Captain T, hope you're doing well. Good evening, kind regards from Lufthansa Cargo. Thank you very much for coming in. What are you on, sir? Look at this here. So geographically, we're now east of Kobox. We'll be flying directly to Al Asha in Saudi, I guess, still. Crossing into Doha. Great routing. Right over the sea, and we'll have Dubai on the east all the way there. This routing is great because it goes right over the city. Got the Burj Khalifa there. Very nice. Yeah, no flight information on the overhead panel now, so, or on the top of the stream. So if you are interested, if we do the full routing, where will I find the ETA here? Well, I'll probably chop off a bit of the arrival, but this is showing us here 6:25, so an hour and 20 minutes. That's with the full-blown arrival, RNAV arrival in there, so probably won't be quite as long as that. No, Fighter, they didn't let me preview it. I did a Flight Factor group flight, and one of the giveaways they did was for a copy of the Flight Factor 777 V2 for a subscriber when it's released. But obviously that was quite some time ago. Oh yeah, some weird, I think that's Ortho in Microsoft Flight Simulator, some squares and scenery things here, some clouds as well. It's a huge desert here we're flying over. There's 30,000 feet. Again, check the pressurization. Cabin rate of climb is increasing now. Probably keep the diff pressure around 8 psi, no higher. 9.1's the max in the 7.3. Darius 742. Now that is a great add-on. Cool. Yeah, much quieter in front of the engine. Enough static wicks on here, haven't they? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Fighter in the region needs a world update, but I don't think there's as much demand for it for other regions. Yeah, I don't know if Saudi Arabia will get a world update, but I don't know if many Saudi Arabians play Microsoft Flight Simulator. Who knows? There we are. On our way. We'll do some fuel checks as well. Golno, Kiran, Hotel Sierra Alpha. Make sure everything's okay. Domino, you're thinking of picking up the Fearless 742. However, I'm a magenta kid and I'm a bit afraid of that 747 Cockpit. Yeah, it's a steep learning curve. But I think X-Plane had some significant updates which caused a lot of aircraft to have issues. I don't know if they've been rectified. I mean, Zibo's been punching out updates like they're going out of fashion. We'll fly that again soon. Oh, Darius 742, when? Soon. Thanks as well. We're up to 91,000 subscribers now. We're getting close to 100,000 subscribers. So thanks to everyone that's subscribed to the channel. I can't believe how many of you bother to watch me. Hi, not Rick Astley. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for popping in. Now, when we get to the cruise, we'll look at some of the features anyway of the aircraft and explore what the A300 has. I'm going to do another stream very soon of a cargo variant because this is going to be the first proper payware freighter we have available in the simulator. So we'll probably do some DHL or FedEx ops soon. It's all working, but I just wanted to fly the passenger variant today. Hi Anthony, hope you're doing well. Thanks for all of the good presents, Santa Claus, brilliant. Had a good haul this year, lots of new shirts to work. When I'm in the sim, we'll have smart casual. You can wear jeans, but you have to wear a shirt. No trainers. Yes, Scottish, looking forward to that 100k special. We'll do a good charity stream for that, that's for sure. Captain Will we be reaching 100k by the end of 2024? Looking at the growth, I think it will be hard pushed. I mean, I only upload or stream sort of once or twice a week. I do have 2 weeks off in January, and I am going to do a few more streams and a few more sort of bits of content. I've been making a few more videos lately as well, which I've been enjoying. Sort of my last video on Q&H Blunder I quite enjoyed making, so I might do some more. Please do FedEx Paris Charles de Gaulle to Stansted. That would be a good one actually. And we've got iniBuilds Stansted and all the cargo. And there's Charles de Gaulle available, isn't there? I've no doubt a good payware one, but there's definitely a Microsoft Flight Sim one as well. I'll have a think about it. Hi Lars, hope you're doing well. Lars is a member of the channel. He is an ex-737 first officer, now an Airbus A320 first officer, and I can tell everyone in the stream he got engaged on Christmas Eve, so congratulations Lars, hope you're doing well. Now I hope everyone will say congratulations. Says hello all, Merry Christmas from the cookie. Currently enjoying a layover in Stockholm, having just gotten back from playing tourist in the old town. Very, very good. Captain T sitting on standby here, and I thought I might as well watch your stream. Oh, thank you. There we are, 350 reached. We've levelled off. Still in Saudi airspace. Carrying on east, and it's absolutely fantastic the weather here. Don't know if you can hear me, but there's the coast ahead. Very, very nice. Now, I was actually looking on Flight Radar. Interestingly, the route from Riyadh to Dubai goes like this: north, then east, and then southeast. They're avoiding Qatari airspace. I don't know why. Is there some sort of geopolitical issue there? It was also Simbrief's default one, and I went, oh no, I'm not going to go that way. Something weird's going on with Simbrief. But I looked at the flights coming in from Saudi Arabia to Dubai. They all go really far north, then east, and then it looks like they're avoiding, as I said, Doha. But I don't know. I just went as the crow flies, pretty much. Perfect 99 last to the dark side. I know, he went to the dark side. Anyway, approaching the Persian Gulf, we'll have a look outside. There's a bit of an oscillation there, or is that just the sim? There's a bit of an oscillation there, small one. Seems to have dampened itself out. Anyway, let's do a little fuel check. We will do one at Hotel Sierra Alpha, the VOR, which is automatically tuned and identified, it looks like, by the systems. One of the things I love about this aircraft is that it's a proper rotary dial, so when you start climbing and descending, you know, it's 3D, it's not just a flat texture. Yeah, it goes without saying, the textures look really nice. Yes, very much geopolitics. I think there might be a political thing between UAE and Qatar. Interesting. Anyway, they'll do a fuel check, check everything's hunky-dory, have a look around the airplane, the cabin, and whatnot. Top of descent, is going to be at 5:48 Zulu. Obviously, bear in mind I'm 12 hours behind live time, so it's going to be 17:48 Zulu. Just a little over 30 minutes. Cruising at Mach decimal 77, 260 knots. This is a Costa Nix of 10. Tilts at 6. Should be at -1 here. I don't think it has an accurate weather radar. I don't think any aircraft do in Microsoft Flight Sim. Anyway, I'll put the tilt to -1. Or best I can, -1.5. That's fine. Nice little tailwind, yeah. 56 knots. God, I tell you what. The weather in the UK has been absolutely pants the past few days. Oh, months I should say. We've got the 6th named storm of the season or something. And I'm so happy to be tucked up in the simulator, starting when I start and finishing when I finish. I've got another 5 days coming up, back to work at the weekend. And no flying in this awful weather. It's awful out there. Loads of diversions. Now what I do like about the add-on, I've noticed, is the flight director commands, which are commanded from the AFDS system. The attitude is really doing a good job at following the flight directors. There's a lot of add-ons which have laggy flight directors and laggy attitudes. The real aircraft, I should think, is very similar to the 737, and if the flight director commands a roll or a pitch, that the attitude is pretty much glued to it, which means the autopilot's very accurate. Anyway, we've just passed the Hotel Sierra Alpha VOR. Let's have a little look at the flight plan. So remember, I've taken operational flight plan extra fuel for ATC. We should have 10.4 tons. We've got 10.9. That looks good. We should have burnt 4 tons. Fuel used is 1.6. That's 3.7 against 3.9. So it's not bad. We're pretty close there. We had some nice shortcuts on the SID and a short taxi. So the fuel burn here, Simbrief have made a dedicated Simbrief profile, which is actually already accessible in their forums, which I've used for this, and it seems pretty close. Thanks for subscribing, Jazim Benashali. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, Tamago, exactly. Have fun crosswind landing in the UK. As I said, I'm very glad to be tucked up in my office at home, streaming to you guys. Lars, yeah, I should think it's the same as the 300, but the 320 is way back. Oh, really? But the 320 is way behind what you're used to from the 737. Interesting. Yeah, the 737 guys, with the roll and pitch commands of the autopilot, the attitude, the yellow box here, which obviously is what you want in the middle of the crosshair, it won't move from the flight directors. It's glued to them. Yeah, Storm Garrett, that's the latest. It's named after a Dutch meteorologist who retired this year after 25 years in the Dutch Met Office. Very interesting. But yeah, there's some awful weather out there. Anyway, weather's looking great here at least. There is the Persian Gulf ahead, and we'll be flying, albeit not realistically, overhead Qatar today. That is ahead there. Very, very nice. Or have I just... No, I'm looking at the wrong part. No, that is Qatar straight ahead on the nose. It is landlocked, isn't it? So that's Qatar. That's Qatar there. And Bahrain is over there. On the island. Very nice. We don't usually fly over this part of the world, do we? I dare say any of us will ever find ourselves driving down this road, albeit this part of the desert here. The expression that I got from my instructors, it's ones and zeros, no gentle transition. It's a computer. Yeah, it's working. It works well. So when you're hand flying then, do you sort of just follow the flight directors accurately? Very interesting. It's stunning to see how people can live there. There's nothing there, quite literally. Sand, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Right, so here we are in the cruise. Fuel burn then, what's that right now? Fuel flow. So that's fuel used, but right now the fuel flow is, what's that? Just over 2 tons an hour per engine, so about 4.3, 4.4 tons an hour. So you're burning about an extra 2 tons an hour compared to the max, or the NG, probably 1800 kilos over the NG. Slightly bigger capacity, but for its time, you know, as efficient as you could probably get. being an Airbus, it's very automated. Utilising a lot of these buttons is mostly for non-normal situations in the cruise or just configuring the aircraft prior to departure. The automation right now, I'm in profile. It's following the magenta track, or the white track I should say, and the ND, standard instrumentation. The ECAM all works really nicely, so you can select
50,
different
40,
systems, for example flight
30,
controls,
20,
position of flight controls,
10.
etc, etc. Thank you, Spears Pod, for your £5, sir, very generous of you, thank you.
A question. Why in big jets you leave the rudder mostly
Yes,
alone,
good
and
question.
in GA planes you need a lot more rudder input for coordinated flight?
Fantastic question. Let's look outside Spears Pod. Look at the size of this flight control. It is absolutely humongous, and it's hydraulically controlled with 3,000 pounds of pressure forced upon it. Now, in the 737, that force is reduced once you get above 135 knots, but it's a gigantic flight control, and manipulating the rudder to coordinate turns in a commercial jet airliner, it's too large a control service for it to do, so it requires no input whatsoever. So when you roll the airplane, it naturally turns. You just use a bit of back pressure, and as the nose wants to descend or drop, you just add that back pressure to maintain level flight, and that will allow the aircraft to turn. In lighter aircraft, where you're travelling slower, and certainly in gliders, you need rudder to help coordinate the turns. Otherwise, you roll and the airplane will require yaw to keep it balanced and coordinated. So the only times you want to use rudder in a commercial jet airliner is to counteract an engine failure in flight, or to decrab during a flare and landing, or to maintain runway centerline. In all other phases, you do not touch rudder. And during the type rating, it's very common for people that have come off from GA. When it sort of gets around 200 feet above the ground, they start using rudder to yaw the plane, and you can feel it a lot, both in real life and the level D sim. It sort of yaws, and we can bring up a synoptic so you can see exactly what people are doing with their hands and feet. So yeah, that in a nutshell is why we don't use rudder on large aircraft. Yeah, Tamango, you're right. On the 380, they have sort of a split rudder system, don't they? They have a top half and a bottom half. It's really quite cool how that works. I mean, that's such a Goliath. And yeah, we'll be flying one hopefully this time next year in the sim. Right, shall we have a little gander around the aircraft? I've left the cockpit door open for the whole cruise. The cabin detail is very, very nice. So we've got first class here, or second class. Ooh, I doubt it's as quiet as this. It's very quiet. So we've got 222 orientation. Nice leather seats. As we get into economy class, it gets louder. Look at the size of that emergency exit. Great views. Nice details on the windows and little scratches, and the cabin panel as well. And this was the first wide-body jet, wasn't it? So 242. Yeah, nice cabin details. Cabins for iniBuilds have always been nice. And this, you know, you don't get this level of detail with cabins in X-Plane. Great performance in FPS. I'm hitting about 60. Even in Dubai, which is very complex, I'm getting good FPS in this aircraft. It would be a little louder. They are. Look, no TVs in the back of seats, look. Just one TV for all. Very 70s, 80s. And then we've got 232 in the back here as the fuselage gets a little thinner. And there's the rear galley. Oh, look where the toilets are. That's an interesting position. It's like behind the aft door, so they're located about here. There you go. Oops, I think that was the speed brake I just extended. Yes, it was. Oops. Cool. Lars, I think we were chatting earlier, weren't we? What did you say? Yeah, you just have to use the flight directors as a guide for left or right, and then ease into whatever it tells you to do. Very Airbus. Lars, it also has to do with corkscrew effect for the propeller on GA planes, with the prop stream hitting the side of the rudder. That's another impact. And I remember with rudder gliding years and years ago, you have to use quite a bit of rudder to coordinate turns as well. How long till landing, says Taylor Earl? We should be touching down. It'll be a little shorter than this because this is the full RNAV arrival. 6:23. Really? Have I updated the time there? 06:20. No, less than an hour. Less than an hour. How long have we been airborne for? 33. I'd say 50 minutes. 18, 15 Zulu. Around that time, I'd say. Very good. we've got a Dubai ATIS and ground online at least. Gregory, the star I've elected for is the Lorid 3 Charlie, which takes us to the... no, sorry, the Lorid 4 Delta, which takes us to the south of the airport. So here, this one there. And then we're left turn onto a 30 right, just because I looked at the flight radar and that's what they were landing on. There we go. Cool. So we're just flying directly overhead Qatar now. There we are. And we're going to go right over Doha too. Right over the top. We've streamed into Doha before. There's the airport, look. Is it on reclaimed land? Not sure. There we go. Saren, so is the A300 identical systems to the 310? Anything you added to its payware? Now, I don't know if the 310 is going to get, well, updates like this. The 310 has longer range than the 300. It was more a popular variant with passenger configs, whereas this is being converted, a lot of them to freighters, so FedEx and DHL are the largest operators, I think, and a number of others too. But system-wise, yeah, the FB seems to have a lot more interaction, the maintenance feature as well. Not only a freighter, no, freighter and passenger variants. I don't think today, though, there's many A300 variants flying as passengers. Maybe some in the Middle East. A300 identical systems to the 310, I think you added as its payware. Oh, we just answered. Fuel tanks. Is there additional fuel tanks in the 310 less than this one? I don't know. But you're going to get a full cargo. You're going to get a full cargo variant with this one, with the cargo doors. Which is there any 310s that have been converted to cargo? I don't know. But there will be a cargo, obviously a cargo and passenger variant with the 300 on release. Whereas I think the 310 in Microsoft Flight Simulator, you only got passenger available. Iranian Aviation, Iran Air, Mahan Air, Kashmir, Mirage Air, Iran Air Tour fly the A300. Oh, very cool. iniBuilds FedEx have some A310 freighters. Very interesting. But yeah, a lot of A300s with DHL still. FedEx. Who else? Is it MN? I've seen an MNG. Is it MNG cargo? Something like that. Is it Turkish based? Anyway, there is Doha, Qatar. 3 runways there, look. Oop, engines are spawning up. Oof, what have I done there? Which I think there might have just been a little Microsoft Flight Sim update. Look, slight deviation in altitude, and we've got Cruise M1. I've noticed the Cruise M1 100.8 is the limit. It's gone slightly above it. I'd probably think it should stop at the limit. MNG used to have the 300 as well as the 310. Very cool. Had. Their last one retired a bit ago. Ah, okay. But it was nowhere near as popular as the 300s. The last one, I was delivered to FedEx as late as 2007. Oh, yeah, 300's bigger, isn't it? Larger capacity than the 310. But I know the 310 had greater range, didn't it? I'm not one for sort of knowing all these facts about all the different aircraft. You guys know a lot more than me. I do take a bit of an interest. Anyway, there we are, crossed over Qatar. Here we are over the Persian Gulf, where we'll remain until we reach Dubai. Almost over. Great performance. As I said, Captain Will, can you go over the differences between the 300 and the 310? Wikipedia can. I really, from a technical point of view, I think they're very similar aircraft. Common type rating, like the 757 and the 767 were. There you go, the A300 had an extra fuel tank. Oh, really? There we are. So, yeah, some of the settings options. Yes, this is one thing I wanted to touch on, was the EFB. I've left mine in realistic, so there is wear and tear each time you fly the aircraft, but a lot of add-ons have this as well, so it's great to see here. But things like tyre use and fueling is real time as well, although you've got the option to speed it up, which I quite like if you're in a hurry. Yeah, there's the curved ND track, so the A300 didn't have this. I probably should turn that off then, because I do like to keep it realistic. I won't bother in flight though, just in case I upset any of the settings or anything there. But yeah, the original didn't have curves. Real door arming I turned off because I found with GSX this is dangerous, because GSX manipulates doors and you'll end up popping a slide, and I've got the real autopilot disconnects, which it will disconnect the autopilot VLS minus 10 knots if disabled. It will not do this. Okay, this IDC system coming, which is quite cool, which allows for ACARS and CPDLC functionality, which you have in the versions in X-Plane. So they're the settings page. You've got your normal settings. I've got my Debrief, flight plans, Hoppy for CPDLC's coming, your Navigraph login. I've turned it to fast for the alignment. Thrust reduction, brake temperatures can be cooled as well. So yeah, quite a few settings. Aircraft maintenance, so you can see the status of everything there. Hydraulic quantity, maintenance panels. It's very tidy. Navigraph, so it's obviously recognised my Debrief flight plan, so I can select Dubai. Reference charts, airport charts. There you go. Approach. So we're going to be flying ILS 30 right today. There you go. Very clear. Look at that.
50,
Get the whole chart on the screen, which
30,
I like.
20.
Yeah, it's
10.
everything we'd expect from a quality add-on these days. Thanks, Darius. Very generous, you, sir.
Question. Why do pilots put the gear to the off pos?
Off pos, off position. Thank you very much, Darius, for your donation. Very kind of you, sir. So on the 737NG, and I guess the A300 to a degree as well, when you raise the gear up, hydraulic pressure is used to raise the gear, and it will initially hold the gear up. And over time, if you leave hydraulics holding the gear up, it'll provide wear. It'll give wear and tear to components holding the gear up for the hydraulics. So by moving it to off, it will depressurize the hydraulic system, and the gear. So I'm talking about the 737 here. The gear will then rest on the up locks, which are just mechanical up locks, and relieve the hydraulic load. So that's the reason. I should think the 300 it's similar, although I don't know. But that's certainly the case in the 737. Good question. Excellent. Thank you very much. 30 left on the ATIS for arrival. Yeah, let's grab the ATIS then. We'll go off the ATIS. You know, this is classic real-world aviation. When there's parallel runways and there isn't usually a specified runway or preferred arrival for runway for arrival, whatever you plan and brief, it's always the other one on the ATIS. And then you get the one on the ATIS and you contact ATIS, then they give you the other one. So yeah, my radio tuning panel isn't working for some reason. I'll go 131.7. Let's see if we can pick up the ATIS. There's no on Unicom, so we can get it by voice.
30 right. Arrival runway 30 left. Airfield information left variable at 1. And OK. Temperature 25.
So I'll turn off the music, copy the weather.
2.17. Altimeter 1018. Expect ILS approach.
Yeah, the 320 does it automatically for your response, as does the 737 MAX. That no longer has an off position.
Transponder code. Minimum runway occupancy required. Caution possible glide slope fluctuation.
Probably not in the sim, but in real life maybe.
Copied echo. Advise on initial contact. You have information echo.
Top of descent's only 80 miles away as well. Information echo then.
Suba International Airport departure and arrival echo. At time 1700 Zulu.
30 minutes ago.
Departure runway 30
So
right.
30 left.
Arrival runway 30 left. Airfield information when variable at 1.
Variable 1.
And OK.
Cab OK. Perfect day.
Temperature 25. 2.17. Altimeter 1018. Expect ILS approach. Advise aircraft type on first contact. During pushback and taxi squawk assigned transponder.
Perfect. So information echo. It's a perfect day. 25 degrees, calm, cav OK. 1018. So we can't get better than that. Cool. So I'll switch over to 30 left. So just have a quick look at Navigraph as we continue east over the Persian Sea. So approach. So we'll fly the Lorid for Delta still. We'll go over here to Oscar Milk Delta Bravo Star, and just change that to 30 left. The rest is the same, I think. So 30 left, we'll select the Lorid for Delta via all dot insert. So that's in, so 30 left. Just make a note of it so I remember and I don't try and fly onto the wrong runway. I have a habit of doing some interesting things on approach at the moment, like gear. There we are, so that's in. Lorid 4 Delta via the RNAV transition, then all dot, and then 30 left. Perfect, so let's step through the arrival, make sure we're happy. I'll bring the PDF so I don't miss any steps during the setup. So flight progress en route, check your fuel periodically, your track and distance. So we're just making a right turn here inbound to Capro over the Persian Sea. So descent preparation, check the ECAM memo, weather and landing information we've obtained. Landing elevation, the elevation here no doubt is around sea level, isn't it? Where is it here? I do not like Jeppesen charts. Where's my nav blue charts? Ironically, an Airbus company. 60 feet. Okay, 60 feet. So we'll set 60 feet on the landing elevation. I'll set 100, that's the nearest. Again, check for the arrivals. So we do have a restriction at Lorid. Now, Profile will make an attempt to make this restriction in descent, I think. Let's have a look here. Lorid. So Lorid, we have it in the FMC, like 160-230 knots, so we'll comply with that restriction. Make sure you got the charts. And then we're going to OERK, Pepus, Imopo, at above 8,000 at Delta Bravo 531. And again, we can manipulate VS level change as we need. And then we've got DB 533, 534, and these are all estimated altitudes. And then we have Rapri much later on. So at below 7,000 feet by 528, and then Rapri. So we'll get down to 7,000 as per the star. And then what I'll do, I'll probably turn final around 10 miles, and I'll use vertical speed just to position the aircraft where I'd like it to be. And then otherwise the full arrival goes all the way down, look, to Delta Bravo 525, way down here. That takes us to outside of 25 miles. Look, that's like a 30-mile intercept, so we won't do that. And then we'll go towards Dubai. The missed approach is coded Delta Bravo 707. And left turn to Egnot, so that's coded. Climb to 3,000, 3,000. So the missed approach lateral track is all checked. Let's now check the frequencies for the ILS. We've got 1113. ILS frequencies are tuned down here. Look on the panel. So 1113. The course is 299er. Frequencies courses, the minimums. Now, to get the minimums call, you need to set it on the decision height. So that's going to be 200 feet AGL. So we'll set that to 200. But the altimeter will read 260. So put 200 here, and on the MDA page we'll put perf MDA 260. There we are. I don't want to select final approach just now. RVR required 550 meters. So as I said, we'll come in via all dot probably, or even prior to that, maybe SEDPO onto an 11-mile final. Landing on 30 left, it's a 3-degree path. Can we check the path in the FMC? On the 300 series, I don't think we can check the path, no. But we'll insert the RLS anyway. Pappy's both sides, no terrain issues. The highest is to the west, 3,800 feet. So landing, it's an absolute huge airport here, absolutely humongous. So we're going to land off 30 left, we'll vacate to the left, and we'll probably park on... Oh, which one is iniBuilds modelled? iniBuilds have a full interior on one of them. I was looking yesterday, hopefully they're still around here in chat, they can tell me, but we'll plan to vacate minimum runway occupancy. So we'll plan to vacate Kilo 9 or Kilo 8, use all the brake low, and then we'll just taxi straight on. We'll choose an iniBuilds stand to land on as well. iniBuilds stand. Hopefully one where they've got a detailed terminal, and we'll get GSX fired up as well. Yeah, we'll go for Concourse B. We'll park on... Let's plan for Foxtrot 12 or Foxtrot 10. They're all designed for 380s. Concourse B, C and D, as far as you know. So B, C and D. I think on my build, yeah, A wasn't modelled, so we'll plan for B or C. We'll go there. We'll take a look. Cool. So performance. I don't think there's a landing performance calculator at the moment. I go to performance. If there is, I can't find it. But we know that Dubai, we're not going to have any performance issues with our landing weight. So we'll go here to take off or approach. We'll select flap 30 and 40, standard wind correction of 5 knots. So we'll fly a speed of 137, full flaps, and there our speeds all set, and we'll go with auto brake to low. And we'll just use the performance. As I said, the reverse thrust at the moment is very powerful. It is stopping the aircraft very quickly. There we are, briefing is complete, and we are approaching top of descent, top of the white bar. Here with a little arrow just outside of 10 miles. Lovely. Norwich Castle, Qatar is completely unrestricted airspace, also no political problems, not sure what is happening. Oh, okay. So, yeah, who knows why it's being deviated around. Very good. Yes, the ATIS did sound a bit depressed, but that is the standard ATIS voice you hear. Right, there we are. Look, we've got a vertical deviation appear as we're approaching top of descent. So what we will do is set a lower altitude on the MCP, even though it's not called an MCP. Let me just have a little look at the arrival. Let's look at the first restriction. So the first restriction's at the Lorrid one at 160. So we'll set 160. I think a bit of pulling or pushing is involved now, if I remember rightly. So set lower altitude and pull. Pull. Retard. Or descent arm. Oh no. Maybe I should be in profile. Retard. P descent. Oh, we'll keep an eye on it anyway. Where's the descent profile on the progress page? I think I have to pass the white arrow. Well, let's get it established in the descent first. That's very much a level change descent at the moment. Top of descent in chat. TD equals time to dive. Now, oh, there we are. There's my vertical deviation then. 500 feet high. Alright, well, we'll leave it in this descent mode because it's level change. And it looks like it's flying, yeah, the vertical deviation, so the speed's going a bit high. We might get a something to flash up more drag. We'll keep an eye on it. And this V deviation, I think, is based on meeting the restriction, but we can easily modify the flight path if needed. Oh, I do miss Fly Live, guys. I know some of you missed it after a brief question. As I said, hopefully V1 Simulations will help me out, because I did email him asking him. Because his is working, but I needed FSU IPC online and it wasn't working properly.
Minimums, approaching minimums.
Tom Pascoe, 47 months. I've not heard from you in a very long time, sir. Thank you very much. I remember for only a mere 4 years almost. Does that know, just under 4 years. Thank you very much. He said, mouse steering belly land again today. It's been a while. Thank you very much. Indeed. Yes, that was an interesting stream. Yeah, I landed the aircraft with a mouse. After the joystick, there was a weird WASM crash, is it called? And my control column completely died, and I had to resort to flying the aeroplane using my mouse. And we landed it, and we managed to butter as well. Right, more drag. Okay, the aircraft now wants to fly a target speed of 267 by the looks of it, or something like that. We're on profile, so what I'll do is I'll use a bit of speed brake then. And we'll go to full, and one thing you'll notice here, look how far the speed brake extends. This is a beast of a speed brake. Really great to recapture your profile. You'll get really high rates of descent with this. Are you using DX12, Captain? No, DX11. One TAA. Alistabin, that stream 1 sold you the A300-2, made me respect the I won't die attitude of a pro pilot. I'm yet to crash. The Concorde stream doesn't count, by the way. I saved it. mere scratch of the rear of the aircraft. That was all. Yeah, this aircraft is right. Yeah, so I've stowed the speed brake and it is accelerating here. But remember, the profile mode in this isn't as accurate as the VNAV in your modern aeroplane. Now, how do I thought on the early A300s, on the X-Plane version, there was a little arrow to show you at what point you reach the altitude. So if I set, let's say, 200, wasn't there a little arrow to show you where you reach that flight level or altitude? Don't know. I'll put 160 again. There's a little deviation changes over each waypoint as well. Keep an eye on those. I wish Microsoft Flight Simulator would get rid of that wind sound. It sounds like, you know, I've opened the door on my front door, that blowing sound. Just get rid. Yeah, the rear strobe on the Concorde has seen better days prior to that stream. Brilliant. We'll check about the BOD arrow. You get the banana in non-profile modes. Let's revert to level change. Ah, perfect. Well, it looks like it's doing a reasonably good job. Oh, crikey, I was on profile, now I'm 1,000 feet high. Alright, well, we use level change. To be fair, we use that in the 7.3 to fly speeds. And what we'll do, with level change, guys, how it works is the aircraft pitches for a speed. So, if I turn the music off, I'll explain. Level change, just like in the 737, you select level change, you bug the speed you want to fly, and the aircraft pitches for that speed. It doesn't add thrust or reduce thrust to fly the speed, it pitches for it. So you see I've pitched for 300 knots. Look at the yellow trend where we're going to reach that altitude. It's going to be there. So you can see as we approach 300 knots, the aircraft's going to slowly pitch up to maintain that speed. And we'll just keep the banana at lowered at 300, and what we'll do, we'll add speed brake to ensure that we comply with that speed. So, you know, you can revert to other modes. Don't always stick with profile. If it doesn't give you what you want, use another mode. Same as we teach on the 737 as well. VNAV is great, but sometimes if you want the aircraft to do a specific thing, it's better to revert to what we call a basic pitch mode, like level change or VS. There's Dubai in the horizon. Oh, Dubai approaches online. Fantastic. Thanks for that. I'll pre-tune that frequency. There we go. Thank you very much for the heads up. So it looks like we're going to make the restriction, but we're going to go too fast, because if you remember looking at Navigraph, we must be at 200 at 30 knots by Lauren. So what I'm going to do is introduce a little bit of speed brake, which will actually increase my rate of descent with the speed, which is fine. So what we'll do, we'll get below profile, and then we can reduce speed a little bit earlier. Anthony, we didn't use profile all that much on that aeroplane back in the day. Yeah, I remember a Monarch pilot getting in contact with me, and he explained the exact same thing. There we are. Let me just tune up that sim, make sure we can hear him. Turn down the sim slightly. There we are. Only got 2 to go now. So what I'm going to do, just before we contact ATC, I'm going to go vertical speed. Get the banana onto the restriction and reduce the speed to 230 knots, which is the speed restriction.
Unrestricted level 150, direct Navic, 150.
We'll just use vertical speed to get the yellow banana, as I like to call it, onto the altitude restriction.
VR5 Kilo Bravo, sending flight level 160 inbound, all good.
Sadia 5 Kilo Bravo arrivals, good evening, squawk 6077.
6077, VR5 Kilo Bravo.
Dry approach, hello, it's Alpaca 300, descending flight level 160, inbound to Lorad, information Echo 1018 to Airbus A300.
Alpaca 300 arrivals, good evening to you, squawk 6040.
6040, Alpaca 300. And you can probably have a
Alpaca
pen and
5
paper
Delta Bravo, welcome to Dubai, turn right on Kilo, stand of your choice, good evening.
Right on Kilo, stand on my choice, Alpaca 5 Delta Bravo.
Oh, there's an alpaca there. There we are, squawks in, great, we've got some ATC, excellent. And there we are. So I'm at 160.
Alpaca 300, thank you, identified, cleared lowered for Delta arrival. Expect pilot approach, runway 30 left, destination Papa.
Expect the Lorad 4 Delta, ILS 30, and we now have information Papa, Alpaca 300. Good, that's exactly what we planned, that's looking good.
Alpaca 300, correct, descend altitude 11,000, QNH 1018, report your indicated airspeed.
Descend 11,000, QNH 1018, we're currently reducing to 230 knots, Alpaca 300.
Alpaca 300, thank you, are you able to 50 knots?
Affirm, Alpaca 300.
Alpaca 300, thank you, speed 250 knots or greater, unsatisfied.
250 knots, descend 11,000, QNH 1018, Alpaca 300. So 11,000 set QNH 1018, 250 knots, so we can disregard the restriction in the FMC. So what I could do is press that.
Expect wireless approach runway
Clear.
30 left. Information Papa.
Florida 3
There we
Charlie
are.
and 30 left.
So I've deleted the speed restriction.
Expect,
Still says 230.
yes.
Not sure. Probably something I need to do.
5 Kilo Bravo, correct.
So there we are.
Descend
Complying with the
altitude
speed restriction.
11,000
Don't worry about the vertical
QNH
profile now.
1018,
We've made the
and fly the published start speed.
160 below restriction, and we'll just do 500 feet per minute now.
1,000 and follow the published start speed. So yeah, 5 Kilo Bravo.
Area 5 Kilo Bravo, confirm the
900
QNH
feet.
1018.
Maybe I'll just go level change then. Actually, yeah. That's 8,000.
1018, so yeah,
11,000.
5 Kilo Bravo.
James MP, have you got the Dubai landmarks installed? I don't actually. I've just realised I don't think I've got the Orbix landmarks, but that would be better for a GA flight. But I think I've got all the Burj Khalifa and stock stuff there. But I do have the Dubai iniBuilds scenery installed. There we are. So we'll resort to level change. I love this sort of hum from the engines at idle. Very good, so if you just tuned in, we're just started our descent into Dubai. We're touching down in approximately 15 minutes. We're popping the seatbelt sign on. We're in the pre-release version of the iniBuilds Airbus A300. So far it's performed very well. Little funny thing going on
501, nothing
in
further.
departure. It could well have been
Unfortunately,
something I did. Someone
destination
was saying it could have been to do with the fact I forgot to input the weights on the ground, which is my error. So far so good. Alright, going back onto our profile in level change, looking good. Like it, for me personally, a little bit louder in the cabin. Jim's got the best view today.
Alpaca 300, turn right, direct Delta Bravo 528.
Direct to Delta Bravo 528, Alpaca 300. Ooh, nice. So direct Delta Bravo 528, sorry. Insert. Now nav's engaged. Profile is minus 3,000. We're actually very low on profile now. So what we'll do is select. I want to know how many miles I've got till touchdown. How do you find that? This is 860.24. Yeah, we're very, very, very low on profile. Obviously, we're going to get a shortcut. So I'm just going to do 500 feet per minute now. Jamlin, does this mini cockpit FCU work? I have no clue. I don't have it. That's a great shortcut. Look at that. Chunked off a huge amount there. So Delta Bravo 528, 7,000 feet or below. But our descent altitude's 11,000 feet. And this will be a typical shortcut if it's very quiet.
Alpaca 300, speed 210 knots or greater, descend 8,000 feet, about 40 to 50 miles per hour.
Descend 8,000 feet, 210 knots or greater, Alpaca 300. So when you get at distance to run, you don't need to read that back. So 50, 10, 15, we should be at around 15,000 feet. We're at 12,000, so we're slightly below profile, and he's going to give us a nice shortcut. Great rule of thumb, guys. When you have the runway, when you're a beam, you want to be at around sort of 6,000 feet, which is where this altitude puts us. So this RNAV arrival is designed to sort of give you a straight in here. That Delta Bravo 528 is going to put us pretty much perfectly on profile. So we'll keep an eye on it and the vertical deviation here and utilise this to ensure we do a CDA as close as we can. Oh, look, over the... Is it the palm?
Left-hander
Right over the top.
your number
Look at
one,
this.
position 30 master touchdown, descent.
It's been ages since we've flown into Dubai. I'm glad we've cranked the time back 12 hours. I love it in the haze as well, and the dust and the mist. Very good.
Saria 5 Kilo Bravo, descend 8,000 feet.
8,000 feet, so they are 5 Kilo Bravo.
Antalya 5 Kilo Bravo, high speed approved.
great
High speed
performance.
approval,
The
so
FPS
you're
is off the
fast
scale, so maxed out at 60, which I've capped it to. Looking good so far. Smooth as butter. So I'll keep it at 250 knots. He wants 210 or 210 knots or greater. Thanks, Darius. Very, very kind of you. Matt, yes, I love the low hum. I'll crank up the sound slightly louder, actually. Microsoft Flight Simulator. Hold on. There we go. Yeah, there's definitely a nice little hum to it. There we are. There goes the profile. So I'll now select level change. Aircraft's now going to pitch idle thrust, so retard, at 250 knots. Oh yeah, replay, thank you. I'll start that now. Did try it, works okay. Yes, thank you, Darius, for your donation. There is the Burj Khalifa. Dubai Airport's in the distance. Very nice. Cheers, yep,
40,
good one, thank you.
30, 20, 10.
Replay started, guys. Thank you, Darius, again. Brilliant.
One last donation. Also, don't forget the gear cap.
Doing the pre-cruise, post-cruise checks now. So fuel is sufficient. We've got loads of gas. I took an extra 30 minutes, so 8.3 tons. So that's an endurance around an hour and a half. Lights, logo, APU, angular banks all set. Pressurization's all good. It's slowly descending. Pressurization set. Seat belts are on. No smoking on. Please put out your cigarettes. And there's nothing on the ECAM. Clear it. Recall. Normal. Check's complete. How do I get it off normal? I don't know. That. We'll put something like. What's the default background one? APU? I don't know. Still says normal.
Victor Kilo, Dubai Departure.
Probably that.
Good
Check's
evening to
complete.
you. Visibility fine.
Now I'll just do. Oops. 500 feet per minute. There's Dubai. Look at that. Oh! Now I've got the best view now. Sorry, Jim.
Skydive 2, Victor Kilo, standby for clearance number 1. Brake, Lufthansa 630, turn right heading to
Look at
103.
the detail here.
Riding 210 space, Lufthansa.
Last flight to Dubai was in a helicopter,
Alpaca
remember?
300, descend 2,000 feet, number 2 in traffic.
Send 2,000 feet, Alpaca 300. So 2,000 feet set,
Skydive
go
2,
back to level
Victor
change.
Kilo, cleared Muscat, and 7 Foxtrot. Maintain
How do I get rid
4,000
of
feet, walk
the
05,
normal? There we go, memo, that's the one I wanted.
Skydive 2, Victor Kilo, correct information. Papa, QNH 1018, report ready for pushback.
So approaching downwind, we're in level change. I want to be around 6,000 feet. See where we are. Yeah, a smidge high. We'll leave it we'll leave it as it is, and I'll start slowing down to intercept from 10 miles.
Lufthansa 630,
I'll select
turn right
ILS
heading
now
270
on the flight
degrees, straight out
directors.
into approach, runway
Please
30
do,
left.
otherwise you won't be able to
Riding
intercept.
270, clip the ILS 30 left.
And I can't remember where you get the idents from, but it makes sense. 6 miles in this position. There is the Dubai scenery. So we're going to vacate, park on the concourse B, maybe on the main one there.
Lufthansa 630 approved. And Lufthansa 630.
Now we are turning downwind.
0 knots or greater until 4 miles final.
160 or greater till 4 for Lufthansa.
Fantastic, isn't it? This is where Microsoft Flight Simulator is
Alpaca
just
300, no ATC speed restriction.
free speed Alpaca 300. So free speed, 250 knots is fine for now. We'll start slowing down. Probably a tad high, so we'll just go down a little bit longer at 250 knots. Hi Generation Black, hard one to catch live. Very happy to catch one, even though you're about to land. Best time, buddy, best time. Thanks for popping in live, buddy. Here I am. So now we'll start reducing to the up speeds. So leave it level change. The aircraft will still command a very shallow rate of descent now, just to bring the aircraft's speed back. And oh yeah, moments approach mode. Final approach.
630, thank you. Vacate left to enable.
So looking good here for a base leg turn, 7 miles. Probably a smidge higher if we turned us just now. So I'll just extend downward a bit longer if he asks us to. Match the heading. Ah, look at that, it's done it. Looking good. There's some TCAS on the traffic there, 3,400. See if we can spot him. There he is. Lufthansa 747, we heard him on VATSIM. Yes, Listerman, great. Remember the notification bell, brilliant. Looking good, the upspeed's a little green dot. 180 knots will aim to fly on the base leg, that's the recommended speed. For all aircraft, that's ICAO standard speeds. Selecting now the slats.
Alpaca 300, turn left heading 030 degrees, base leg.
Left 030 degrees, base leg, Alpaca 300. So 030, heading select. Round we go. Looking good here, guys. 11 miles. Oh, this is going to work out well for a CDA. Looking really good. So I'll now go vertical speed, just do 500 feet per minute. Bring the speed back to the 180 knots. We'll select flaps and slats. 180 knots. Glide slips coming in.
3,000 feet, so they are 5 kilo Bravo.
Very good.
2,000 feet.
This is working superbly. I'll just update the director Moodos just to tidy up the ND. So still descending, 180 knots on base. Great vectors.
Alpaca 300, turn left heading 330 degrees, cleared ILS approach, runway 30 left.
Left 330 degrees on the heading, cleared ILS 30 left, Alpaca 300. So now we just use VS to finesse, basically use vertical speed to put the plane onto the glide slope. And I'll arm localizer initially. So localizer armed, just do a when you're a little bit high like this, around 1,000 feet per minute, work out quite nicely. Bring the speed back to 160 now. Or the F speed. Localizer alive, localizer capture. We'll set runway heading. It's around 300 initially. We'll arm approach, which is land, and we'll just set 1,300. Might need a little bit of speed brake just to help us out here. 10 miles, a bit too early for gear. No fixed rings. I don't know if the
Alpaca 300, speed 160 knots until 4 miles final. Continue approach 30 left, number 1. Plan to vacate left kilo 8.
Plan to vacate left at kilo 8 and 160 till 4 Alpaca 300. So I'm going to drop the gear now, just because we're at 9 miles and the speed is running away a little bit. Oh, that noise. You'll see the gear extension is really slow as well, really slow on the A300. But you can see when it starts biting. Oh, that's not good. Oh, no, come on. That's a freeze and a half. Where's the drag from the gear? I'm going to take another notch of flops. Yeah, I can. Glide slope capture. Oh, that was a freeze and a half, wasn't it? 7 miles. Now we'll do the landing checklist. Whew.
Got about 2 Victor Kilo pushback.
It's got very loud with the flap sound down here. So, visual, free green flap 20, flap 30, 40. So we're going a bit fast for the next flap setting, 175, so we'll just use a bit of drag.
Alpaca 300, wind calm, runway 30 left, clear to land.
Runway 30 left, clear to land, Alpaca 300. So below 175 for the next flap setting, we can now do final flaps, and the final approach speed was 136. Yeah, it's really slippy. Slippier than I'd expect. I've got full flap, gear down, and There it goes. Yeah, there it goes. I would expect that a slightly quicker deceleration with flaps. No fix info on the 300. No! There we are. So landing flaps. We've got 30-40. Final bug speed approach. We've got 3 green lights. Doors are closed. Check's complete. Right, he wants to vacate at Kilo 8. Which is... I'll try my best. It's the first high speed. First, Kilo, second high speed, guys. Second high speed. Right, check's complete. I'm in a good view here. So I'll disconnect the auto throttle. Put on yoke cam. Disconnect autopilot. Cancel the horn. This is a great little position I found. I like to get great view of the PFD.
210 degrees.
The only thing is the engine instruments I can't see, so I'm sort of referencing the speed trend vector, and I don't know what the target thrust setting is for the A300 on final at this gross weight. But the flight director commands are really nice. It's in trim, nice smooth inputs down the flight directors. The flight director guidance should get you nicely to 50 feet above the runway, but when you get close to the runway, guys, make sure you look outside more. Keep the pappies and the aiming point at the same point at the runway, the aiming point being abeam the pappies. When you get to 50 feet, make sure you look towards the end of the runway. That'll really aid your landings. Speed's a tad high, so just take the thrust off, around 136. Checked. There's a speed trend vector coming down. Those wanting to drop when I reduce thrust, that's very typical of underslung engines. Very good. Feels nice. Weather's perfect here, is it? Variable or not. There's our speed. Checked.
30 left, clear ILS approach, 35 kilo.
So, following the pappies now, don't worry about the glide. Looking outside, keep the aiming point at the same point in the runway. Tad low, but that stage is fine. Look at towards the end of the runway. Check, close. Oh, feels very Microsoft Flight Sim, very floaty. Not bad. Alright, speed brakes up, reverse. Hardly needed any flare there.
Got by 1 November Delta arrivals. Good evening. Walk
100 knots. Cancelling the reverse and the brakes. 60 knots. The reverses are too powerful at the moment. You go very quickly backwards. And we'll take the second high speed. Kilo 8, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Dubai. I don't know what the landing rate was there. Yeah, very little flare needed. I pitched back a tiny amount. A tiny amount.
Emirates 125 departure.
And it flared quite quickly.
Vienna, south move for Foxtrot.
So, maximum speed, sort of 45 knots on a high speed, and that's Kilo 8. Welcome to iniBuilds Dubai. I'm getting really good performance in this. So I'll bring it all the way down to around 5 knots just until we get further taxi instructions. Stow the speed brake. Yeah, reverse thrust. It needs. I tried it earlier on a test sector, and I was doing 70 knots backwards after 15 seconds. It does need work.
Contact when ready to push back.
Got about 1 November Delta arrivals identified.
Just hold it here.
Route 3 Delta arrivals. Expect ILS approach runway 30 left. Information pop up.
See where he takes us. We'll take the second left, probably whiskey here.
November Delta correct, descent unrestricted 8,000 feet, QNH 1018. Alpaca 300, welcome to Dubai, continue straight ahead on Kilo, start to Charlie 58.
Charlie 58 off Kilo, Alpaca 300, thanks a lot for the ATC, sir, bye-bye.
Thanks for flying, bye-bye.
Charlie, what was that stand number? Jim didn't make a note of it, so Kilo straight ahead. Kilo, Charlie 38 was it, or 28? I can't remember what he said, probably not even that. There we are, got the instructions anyway. And this is the excellent iniBuilds scenery from Dubai. Charlie 58, thanks.
Papa 3 November, holding point November 9, runway 30 right. Report
so that is... Where is that?
Papa 3 November 9, 30 right now.
I'm trying to see it on the... where's Charlie 58? So I can see Foxtrot. Yeah, strobe's coming off. Jim. Right, let's bring it to a stop here. So if you're unsure of your position, stop the aircraft, set parking brake, we'll look together. So I have vacated here, Charlie 58, Foxtrot's all the way down here. Ah, I see, it's the next terminal. I'm carrying on, there we are. And that is why you should always stop, confirm your position. Right, now I can do the cleanup. It's concourse D.
Got about 6 arrivals, hello, squawk.
Let's do the rest of the cleanup then. So retrack, strobes to off.
6033.
Those to taxi. We'll leave the turn off lights on. Transponder to transponder. Trim is set to 0. I don't know what the 300 default is. Woo, woo, woo. Rest of the cleanup's done. Flight directives I'll reset. Decision light off. We'll reset the MCB.
Dubai approach, hello, India 171 with you, ready check.
3,100. How do I get
India 171 arrival, hello,
increments in? I can't remember. We'll leave it set to that. That's set to 100.
Cocking 6026, India 171.
And the rest is all set. There we go. Chase complete. Concourse D as in C. Stunning logic there. Yeah, I know, I was looking like wow. There else, just keep going in on kilo until we get all the way to Charlie 58. And then we'll start the APU as well. What do you think, guys, then? Yeah, landing. I flared. If I just turn on yoke cam here, you probably play it back. I flared until like 20 feet and I just went and it just sort of went whoop, straight up there. So again, I need to probably have a play with the response curves to get it all set up for this aircraft. Yeah, it handles nicely. The pitch and power, things like underslung engines, reducing thrust, you can feel the pitch wanting to come down. The key thing is to make small changes with thrust on a turbofan aircraft. Look at this, 30 speeds. 30 knot speed, perfect taxi at speed. You just want to make small changes to thrust just to keep the aircraft on stable. There we are. Scenery's great, isn't it? Slight drop in FPS, but I've got it. I think I've got it all pretty maxed out.
Got about 6
it's
correct,
working
descent
quite well.
under
This is as complex as you can get.
1018,
Looks 32 knots pretty fast.
70 knots, was great.
So APU's accelerating. Thanks Chewie, 44 months. This looks like a must buy, absolutely. If you want to do proper cargo ops in Microsoft Flight Simulator, this is the only aircraft you can really have right now. So I'd thoroughly recommend it.
Welcome to the
In that regard. Thank you very much.
Charlie 52.
So it didn't say when to go in. What I'll do is take the second. It's a Zulu 4 coming up here.
Right on kilo and
This left here, which pretty much takes me straight on to stand. And I can do my whole GSX thing. Oh, I forgot to shut it off. Never mind. So it was Charlie 58.
1018, fly heading 120 degrees.
God, so many. Ah! What? Where's 58?
There's
57 and 59. I know why. If they put an aircraft there, default one. Right, do you reckon if I go Charlie 57, he won't notice? There's Charlie 59.
India 171, turn
Yeah,
right,
look, I think there's a stock
210
aircraft there, isn't there?
descent
We'll go
2000.
Charlie 57. No. Let's have Emirates. He won't mind. There we are, Charlie 58. I think it's because there's here's an aircraft there, that's why. That's a stock aircraft that was there on the test center.
Got about 1 November Delta descent,
There we go.
6000, position 35 miles to touchdown.
I didn't get lost, hey? I didn't get lost. There we are, Charlie 57. There's the marshaller. Obviously the guidance is not working today. There we go. When you've got large engines like this just ticking over idle, you don't really need to add thrust. Nice turn on to stand. I think this is a detailed terminal as well. Turn off taxi lights off.
Dubai arrival. Good evening. Sky Dubai 242 descendant through 5120.
Just poodling in really
Got about
gently.
242
Let's see if I can
arrival.
nail my
Good
parking.
evening. Squawk
There's a bit of a delay on the brakes.
Squawk 606 to Sky Dubai 242.
Oh, a bit early.
India 171, turn right to 270 degrees, clear data approach, runway
Oh,
3 turn left.
that'll do. 0.1. Right, parking brakes set. APU's up and running, and yeah, it's already on the bus, so we can just turn off the engines. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Dubai. There we are. See if he does his
And
little
then
dance. Doesn't he
171,
do...
speed 190 knots until 10 miles, then 160
Get out
knots
of
until
here!
4 miles.
You parked a bit askew. No.
From 190 for Air 190.
Skydive 2 Victor Kilo
No,
by November 9.
no, very
confirmed,
cross
runway
at that.
30 right, clear for
I always get criticised there. Yeah, you can walk off. Yeah, go see your buddy Mohammed in the tug.
Skydive by 1
Right, there we
November
are.
Delta
There we
V,
are.
south
Air
east,
bridge getting
1
connected, and we're not in one piece.
Skydive by 1 November Delta speed 190 knots.
Just turned down the VATSIM here. So rude.
India 171, are you established on the localizer?
Great ATC actually.
Not yet for Air 171. We are going to.
Yeah, nice market cap. Yeah, a bit askew by what was that? 30 centimeters. In the grand scheme of things, not bad. I'll get the AP bleed on, even though it's not very hot. Right, let me just complete the rest of the checklist after engine shutdown here. So nose lights off, parking brake set, AP bleed on, fuel levers are off, elapsed timer stop, beacon come off now as well. There we are.
Boarding starting.
Parking brake as required, fuel pumps can come off, probe heat off. I'll leave them on because we're going to do... And we're going to see the passengers, I think we will.
Welcome.
There they are! You're welcome. Thanks for flying Alpaca Airways. You're welcome. Thanks for going through the galleys. That is so cool! It's wicked. Wow. Honestly, I'm still new to GSX. I know a lot on the stream. The full-time streamers have been using it for years. But it's all new to it. I think this is just amazing. Oh, look, even the older lady's going really steady, look. And she's got a brochure. I just love it. Ah, amazing. And look, they're unloading all the cargo as well. It is a superb addition. Although, oh no, that's fantastic. Yes, they've sort of not planned that very well regarding the baggage and the cargo in the rear. Oh, look at that. Right then, guys, well, we'll do a full preview of the scenery, and because it's Christmas, I'm feeling generous. I didn't actually ask Dubai regarding giveaways. For the A300, no giveaways at the moment, guys, whilst it's in beta for the aircraft from iniBuilds. But I would like to purchase an iniBuilds voucher for a lucky viewer, £25. And they can purchase the Dubai scenery as a Christmas gift for everyone watching if you stay tuned in here as well. So we'll do a little tour of the scenery, have a look around. Let me just turn down the sim here because it's very loud with the APU running. I don't know if you guys can even hear me. So I was saying, yes, I'll do a giveaway of the scenery. I'll have a look around it and see what you can get here as well. Obviously, only enter the giveaway, please, if you have a copy of Microsoft Flight Simulator. The slides, no! See, this is the problem with GSX. We do have a slide deployment. Also here, that is going to require some explaining to the chief pilot of Alpaca Airways, who's Jack. So yes, we will fix that. Let me just get the engineer on it here, so you can go here to home, aircraft maintenance. No, it isn't aircraft maintenance, isn't it? Reset emergency slides. Nothing ever happens. Very good. So we could hear you very well. Good. Yeah. So we'll do a copy of the giveaway. We'll have a look around the scenery whilst the aircraft's offloading. It's so cool having all these extra features. Anyway, yes. Well, I've previewed a lot of iniBuilds sceneries in the past. So let's have a look around it. Now I've got drone camel activated. Make sure I've got my blurb so I can tell you what the scenery has. There we go. So we're obviously, what was it? I can't remember what the concourse was, but I mean, this is one of their detailed terminals. Let me just turn down GSX as well because we don't need to hear that whilst we're flying around. There we go. So yeah, here's one of their detailed terminals, which are in here, full of passengers around. I think it's modelled true to real life, so you've got all the stand numbers and gate numbers as well. 2 floors here. The modelling is just superb on these sceneries. Emirates Sky Cargo, I think all the surrounding buildings and areas. There's a free download as well for the airport nearby that does all the skydiving. I think it's literally called Skydive as well, isn't it? There's a mono train all the way round to loads going on with these sceneries as well. And it's really reasonably priced, 20 quid plus your VAT, which you'd expect from a scenery of this high quality. Look at this terminal, also has a detailed interior. I've actually flown into Dubai once, but It was some time ago, I can't remember the terminal, but yeah. Look at the size of it. All modelled inside the interior. 2 floors here. Going down. There we are. Lots of passengers around as well. Huge detail. Excellent. I think they've got all the PR. Look at that, all the adverts there, up there. 2 horses. So that's, I think, one of the 2 model terminals. The tower's up here, also modelled inside for people. I mean, look at the size of this airport. Amazing. Well, the passengers are very slow getting off, aren't they? Now, I think this one isn't modelled. Yeah, so this concourse isn't. They've got 2 detailed interiors. Lots of high detailed static airports. It's one of the few times I've actually left static aircraft on, because they do have these really detailed static A380s around. So yeah, the tower view is very good. So you get handcrafted textures, crisp, all the signs are up to date as per the Dubai as it is modelled, and you can imagine there's a lot of signage at an airport like this, so you've got all the correct signage matching the Navigraph charge, which is really good to see. So yeah, it's the correct airport layout as it is today. LOD optimization, whatever that means, but I'm getting about 45 FPS right now on VATSIM, streaming to you. My PC's obviously running the streaming software, all of it. It's been very smooth throughout the entire time. And full iniManager compatibility as well, so you can actually, if you do have a lower spec PC, you can turn off like interiors of the terminals and other features as well to boost your FPS. Very good. Well, my drone is going very slow. I mean, I've just shown you some terminals and this part of the airfield, but all the buildings in the surrounding area have been modelled as well. Check out the iniBuilds YouTube channel for a full view of all the features as well. And I'd very kindly like to, as a Christmas present, run a giveaway for you guys as well. Ini usually do give devs a copy, but I didn't ask on this one, and it's been out for a while, so I'll run one anyway. And it won't be for the scenery per se, it'll be for a voucher, so you can ultimately choose what iniBuilds product you want, but is sort of run as the Dubai scenery. And there we are. The aircraft still, this is the slowest disembarkation I've ever seen for an air bridge. Usually they'd be coming off a lot quicker. There we are. The air bridge is slightly, the door's slightly poking out, but we'll let GSX off. There we go. Anyway, so we'll run the giveaway now. Let me just get it set up in the background so it all works correctly. If you are the winner, you can get in contact with me via social media. That could be either Instagram or X, I should say. It's the only way you can directly contact me. Or email me at flightdectasim@gmail.com. The email address is in my About section on my YouTube page as well. So let me type in the giveaway here, what you need to enter in chat. I think you guys know what it'll be, because it's always the same for all giveaways. Well, please only enter the keyword once, because it will make your entry ineligible. So you've got to just type in the 4-letter ICAO code for Dubai. You can use lowercase, uppercase, it doesn't matter. The 4 letters. Type that in chat now once. No, the members and moderators are taking the mic to the regular subscribers. Lee Richards, thank you. Listerman, thank you. Perfect 99, thank you. No, some people are typing in once. No, you absolute trolls. No, Tamango, ignore them. OMDB, just put OMDB in chat once. You guys did that once years ago, and everyone started typing in like once or lowercase like multiple times. Absolute jokes. That's it, Oscar Mike Delta Bravo, once in chat. Thank you very much. This is for a £25 voucher. Brilliant. It's working. I can see people putting the correct answer in now. Hayden, I hope you're doing well. Hayden J. Roberts, he said thrice. You get a break Nightbot as well. Oh, Jesus. There you go, look. Look, you can wave back at Jim and I.
Welcome.
Emerging through the doors. In a better view, really. Oh, someone's merged into that lady. Welcome aboard, Andre. Thanks for subscribing as well, Coco. Imagine having Nightbot as your attendant. I love it. Oh, he's got a real strut. Oh, brilliant. Alex Patterson, you've got the right idea. Osama and Atari, you've got it too. That's it. That's a great view. Right, we'll let it roll for another 30 seconds. And then we'll call it a day. Just the one sector today, guys. They should have carry-on bags though, said Chairman. Brilliant. There we go. No, GSX is nearly done. We've timed this quite well. Yeah, I know, Tamango. GSX is really harsh. I mean, okay, it's slightly off the line, but at least one wheel's on the line. Very harsh. Nobody locks tired. He flew with Alpaca Airways and Going Dutch Films. Entertainment the entire way. Right, let's roll this giveaway then. Oh dear. Get this all set up in the background. I've lost my page. Right then, I'll pause the music so I can do my award winner ding. The winner of the Dubai scenery is Shui, a member. Oh no! It's going to be rigged. Oh, completely random. Oh dear. Hashtag rigged. Yeah, hashtag rigged. Brilliant. Yeah, good one. Well done. I think Shui's the first time he's ever won a giveaway, so yeah, unrigged. He says, no way, absolutely. You were picked out of 98 people. More likely to pick out a correct card out of a deck of cards. But well done, Shui. You are the winner of this giveaway. I'll get in contact with you, obviously, via Discord. Mega rigged. Yeah, good one. No, it's open to everyone, that one. So, yes, not rigged at all. Ah, dear. Members win, it's rigged. Members don't win, it's rigged. Brilliant. Well, most of you watching are members, so... rogged. I agree, Luke. Unbelievable. Well, anyway... Oh, God, that day. I'll disconnect off that sim. Anyway, before we sign out, what do I think of the iniBuilds Airbus A300 to conclude? Yeah, I do like the add-on a lot, and it's really reasonably priced. I think had they charged what they used to charge in Explain when it first came out, which is what was typical from developers at that time, I'd say that was on the pricey side, but the fact that they put this at 35 quid, and it's a really detailed aircraft, it's a really good deal, and you're going to finally have a high quality cargo specific airline. Obviously we've flown passenger variant today, but you have that option, but we're going to be you can fly your cargo ops now. You can utilise products like GSX to do nice loading as well, or not, but you've got a proper cargo airplane you can fly all over the simulated world, which Microsoft Flight Simulator does far better than, let's say, Explain as well. Handling wise, yeah, on takeoff and landing, like all airplanes in Microsoft Flight Simulator, there's a feeling to it which is somewhat artificial in my opinion. Other people might like it, but like I've said before, when I compare which simulator is best and you look at the big picture, I always gear people towards Microsoft Flight Simulator. You're going to get a lot more enjoyment, I think, out of the sim regarding all the different type of flying you do. GA, commercial airliners. For me, I think as a big picture, the sim is my preferred sim as well. And with regards to handling, I will always sort of revert to Explain for that sort of dynamic feeling. With Blade Element Theory. It's a debate we always have frequently on the channel and on Reddit. People discuss all the time, but that's how I personally feel. But if you want to enjoy cargo ops in Microsoft Flight Simulator, this is by far the best aircraft you have right now as well. Now, regarding release dates, I have no information about that. I think in the not too distant future, they've not said anything publicly, but it will be available for £35 plus VAT, and then they'll be releasing the A380 in the not too distant. Oh, they're making 350s to 380s. I'm so far behind at the moment. So I'm so busy with Christmas and work with what devs have announced and what they're releasing. But yeah, keep an eye out on their website and their Discord if you want to stay up to date with the latest iniBuilds news as well. Congratulations, Shui. I'll send you. I'll buy you a £25 voucher this evening. I'll have a chat with iniBuilds as well. See if they've got any other copies to give away in the future. Like I said, they're usually message ahead, but I know with the A300, because it's not released yet, we didn't do any specific giveaways from them today. Anyway, thank you very much for all of you for your support. Oh, iniBuilds said release candidate 1 has just entered testing, so very, very soon. There you go. That's the latest from the iniBuilds themselves. Thank you very much for popping in. You do usually when I'm previewing your products, and I think you answered a lot of questions that some of the subscribers had, so thank you indeed there. Did I stop the replay? I didn't, but it shouldn't matter. I can still replay it back from where I paused it. I've logged off of that sim. I'll just disable GSX now for the replay as well. So I found the quickest way to do that is just press the restart Koodle, which just gets rid of everything. There we are. And what I need to do is do a quick panels reload, because it didn't work properly if I didn't do this. So I'll go to settings, ready for takeoff. Just give it a second for the engines to spool up. That's deployed the slides again, unfortunately. So reset emergency slides. We'll leave the maintenance as it is, so we'll have a bit more wear and tear next flight. Ground equipment, so close all doors. There we are, engines are powering up. And I'll select landing flap, and that should be all good for the replay. Always a pleasure to be here. Thanks, iniBuilds, indeed. Excellent. And I'll always like the A300 for one particular reason. Why is it? I'll give you all a clue. Yeah, this is the first Airbus, and it's before they went all future tech with the 320. It's so Boeing-y, and I can really utilise the automation and fly it like a Boeing with VS and level change. So if profile, I'm not sure what it's doing, I could just go use those two modes. And I've got a big thick control column between my legs. So yeah, that's what I like. No second sector today. Excellent, excellent. Right then, I think that's all good for the replay. So I'll turn off that music and turn on the funky replay music. There we are. Fingers crossed this works. It did yesterday. We'll press replay. There we go. Just let the sim do its thing. It might moan at me for a short while. Just going to put myself on final. Woof. I'll just let the sim all load in. Cabin altitude, don't ding away in there. Now we can always do that view. Just turn up the sim as well. There we go. Yes, it's still... if they could get an X-Plane style replay in Microsoft Flight Simulator, I'd be a happy man. Seems to be loading in quickly. There we go. Let's have a look at the landing from drone cam. Yeah, very little back pressure was needed. Very little back pressure. A little bit low on the end there, but obviously my eye point's a bit lower in the camera. That's why you're seeing 3 reds. It's very flat, the approach, to be fair, in the A300. There was a flare, and they floated a lot, so I just did a little check at the end. It was quite smooth. Do I have to say? Yeah, I think the reverse animations aren't working on this one. Yeah, it had great stopping performance. Reversers are a little bit too powerful at the moment. I've let them know, and hopefully they'll fix that prior to release. Let's have a little look from another angle. Speed brakes, I think that's just the replay. So it's not, yeah, it's not doing any of the controls. They're all jammed. They were definitely armed for the approach. No, yeah, the sense line was good. Yeah, it was a tad firm. There we go. Very nice. Well, ignore the lack of reverse thrust. I swear that worked yesterday. Yeah, it's nothing's happening today. There we go, anyway. And we just need a tower view and a threshold view. You can set up the drone camera doing it somehow, but you have to press about 10 different things. But that will do. Anyway, I'll pop you back into the let's do that view. Excellent, so you can see the terminal and everything there. Cool, right, what I'll do, I'll pop you on final. Probably about just around there, that will do. Excellent. We just turn the sim down as well, because I can barely hear myself talk, let alone think. There we go. Right then, guys, that's it for today. Thank you very much for popping into another Flight Deck Sim live stream on the 27th of December. As I said, I hope you all had a great Christmas and spent some time with your family and friends, had lots to drink, or if you don't drink, lots of non-alcoholic beverages, and ate lots of food as well. So thank you very much for popping in. Thanks again to iniBuilds for sending me an early access copy so I could give you my opinion of the aircraft. As I said, it's built up from their X-Plane variant quite nicely. It's transferred certainly nicely into the sim in Microsoft Flight Simulator. As I said, it is in beta, so there are a few little hiccups here and there. I know the reverse thrust is something I noticed testing myself, and they're looking into it prior to release as well. But you will have an excellent aircraft upon release, certainly if you want to replicate your cargo ops in Microsoft Flight Simulator. That's it really. I've got one more day off tomorrow. I don't think I'll have time to stream, and then I am working every day, very busy in the simulator at the moment at work. All type rating sessions this week, and then I do have 2 weeks off, so I will be streaming a little bit more come mid-January and to the latter end of January as well. So I'll be streaming in Microsoft Flight Simulator X-Plane, might fire up the old channel as well, blow off the dust, do some games with you guys. Well, look at the scenery out there, it looks so good. But anyway, thank you very much to everyone that donated for your generosity, very, very kind. To all the also all the members, thank you very much for your continued support. And to all the subscribers of the channel, thank you indeed for popping in. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe if you want to stay up to date with the latest content. And I'll see you on another live stream in the not too distant future. Cheerio.